The Jake Asman Show will begin shortly. Thanks to all these great Patreon members who help support the show. Get your super chats ready. Jake will be here in just a moment. If you love the New York Jets, this is the place to be. And now, the Jake Asman Show.
Woody Johnson, Aaron Glenn, Darren Muji, they all spoke. What did we learn? We will break that down with Robby Sabo, the co-founder of JetsXFactor.com. Plus, as Maniac Madness continues after today, guess what? We're on to the Sweet 16. It is the Jake Asman Show. Let's hit it and get it started. Man, our Jets are primed to win another offseason, baby. We bleed Jets green each and every day. Will the playoff drought finally end? Kings of the offseason, baby. This is what we do. At least we have Garrett Wilson. We have Breece Hall. Please subscribe and hit the like button below. Super chats, baby. Cut the line. We have Sauce Gardner. We have Quinn Williams. Prepare to be underdogs. Now it's time to talk all things New York Jets. It's the Jake Asman Show. Here we go on a Tuesday. It's April Fool's Day. Don't be fooled by nonsense out there, Jet fans. This is your warning. Be on high alert for BS trades, BS quotes. Don't fall for it. This guy will never fall for it. His name is Robby Sabo, and he joins us right now. Robby, happy April Fool's Day.
Oh, that's why you told me Mikey and Bobby Midnight lost. I get it now.
Unfortunately, Robby, that was real.
No.
Both the Midnight Brothers out before the Sweet 16.
I don't believe it. No way.
Well, believe it. I wish I was lying to you. I had Mikey winning the whole thing, but Ricky NY proved that he had what it took to slay Mikey, and Jay Quest on a bender right now as an 8 seed knocked out Bobby Midnight the day before.
I've never been more disappointed in the Asmaniacs in my life.
Well, I'll tell you what, Robby. Bobby's taking it in stride because he's already gifted 5 channel memberships. Moneybag McGee, Bobby Midnight in the Asmaniac raffle for 5. Look at your screen, Robby. Look at it. How about that from Bobby Midnight? All right, the following 5 people are now officially Asmaniacs. James Finnan, Christopher Byers, Prestige Shogun, Derek S., and Hulk Smash, all receiving memberships. Yeah, I mean, it's been a wild tournament, Robby. It has been a wild tournament, and we've seen diehard Jet fans and OG listeners. If you have that too, you're going to do well, and that's been the story through the first almost 2 rounds of this tournament.
Yeah, Jay Quest and who was the other one? Ricky? Those
Ricky
are the 2?
NY, yep.
Yeah. I mean, you could see both of them winning. It's, kudos to the committee. Unlike real March Madness, which is dead, by the way, and it's never coming back. Asmaniac Madness is alive and well.
Shout out to J-Boy, who gifted a membership before the show began as well. All right, Robby, let's talk about what we heard from Aaron Glenn, Darren Muji, and Woody Johnson. I said we start with the head coach first because I felt like we got a lot from Aaron Glenn. I think the thing that's getting the most headlines is Glenn talking about how he wants to move in silence. He says nobody cares if you win in the offseason. It doesn't mean anything. What were your takeaways from those comments there from the head coach?
I think we talked about the thing I wrote about Glenn. The idea to bring in Fields is about evolution. This was 2-3 weeks ago, mid-March. And these comments just back that up. They are going to lead the league in rush attempts. It's that simple. As long as Fields plays every game and they're okay, they're relevant, they're in the mix, they're going to lead the league. It's going to be Baltimore, Philly-ish. If they're a 5-6 win team, I could see them finishing top 5. I'm not saying rushing yards. That's an entirely different matter. But rush attempts, get ready. I mean, if you're a Jets fan who remembered the Rex days fondly, attack the quarterback, go nuts, try to kill him, and rush the ball. That's what this is. That's what Glenn is.
I mean, we know that they seemingly want to take a lower key approach out there publicly. They have not made any of their signings available in
Yep, not even
media
Fields.
availabilities.
Yep.
Like the Giants signed Jameis Winston. They gave him a press conference. He's a backup quarterback. So they haven't they haven't made anyone available, including their biggest signing, of course, in Justin Fields. So I think you're right about that. Now, as far as Fields goes, what have you made of how the Jets have said he's the starter? Some of the comments that Glenn has said about Fields, some of the comments that Muji has made about Fields. I mean, to me, I go back to this long quote you see on the screen here from Aaron Glenn talking about how we're going to let him play quarterback, that they don't just look at Justin Fields like, oh, he's a great athlete, great runner. That's why we signed him. Glenn truly believes that there's a lot more to him being able to process and play the position at a high level. He told Judy Batista he thinks he could be a top-notch quarterback. I mean, it sounds like they really like Justin Fields, or is it just coach speak? What do you make of these comments?
Yeah, it's bullcrap. I mean, listen, I'm not saying Fields can't improve in terms of the pocket stuff and playing quarterback, quote unquote. But this is what it is. Like, he grabbed him because he sees the NFL. Glenn is smart. He sees what's going on. If you got a Hurts, if you take a Hurts, a Super Bowl winning quarterback, MVP, and take his legs away and take the rushing away from Philly, you're going to have a tough time surviving in this league offensively. It's the same thing with Fields. So, take away Fields' legs and the rushing attack and everything that he could do. Nothing. They're not going to want that guy. So it's bullcrap from that level. He could say all he wants, that he wants him to play quarterback and say all that stuff, but that's not what this is. It is a specific strategy to take advantage of what the NFL is today. And we've only just begun going down this road. Can you imagine back in the day, Buddy Ryan allowing Randall Cunningham to run read options off the edge relentlessly all game? He would have been in the hospital by quarter two. Lawrence Taylor would have destroyed him off the edge. But it's a different world. And Fields is a tough dude. He's a big dude. I think he's even bigger than Hurts. So give Glenn truth serum, bet the tush push, by the way. And I bet you he doesn't want to see it go. Because if anything, it could be a potential weapon for the Jets. Tittman's tall. He's an unusually tall center, so that might be tough, but you get the idea. Anything down that path where you can get an advantage is number one. The passing, the quarterback stuff, all that stuff is number two.
So you don't think Glenn's telling the truth about his ability to still improve and get better as a processor and play the position?
I think he's telling the truth. I just don't think it's the main attraction. In other words, like, you're not – imagine Fields couldn't run. And you're gambling on the guy in terms of improvement from the pocket only, improvement from processing, improvement in the regards of layering it and touching and reading defenses and reading leverage. He wouldn't have made that move. So I think he's telling the truth in that regard in terms of playing quarterback, but I think it's a backup. I don't think it doesn't even come close to as important as what the offense can be and what Fields gives you with his legs. Does that make sense?
It does. So we have Glenn's comments in the roundtable setting at the owners' meetings. Then he did a one-on-one with the great Janae Coakley of SNY, good friend of the show. And I thought he even said even more about Fields in that setting. Here's Aaron Glenn being asked about Fields from Janae.
Listen, I've played against Justin quite a bit, just him being at the Bears and me being in Detroit. And he created some damage for us, so I want to make sure that I can take advantage of what he does, what he can do as far as utilizing his legs. But I also want to allow him to play quarterback also. I don't know in his career he's ever had a chance to truly go out there and play quarterback. So we're going to give him that opportunity, understanding who he is as a player, try to utilize his skill set, but also let him do what he did at Ohio State, and let him go play quarterback.
What was the conversation like with Justin Fields? How excited is he to be here?
I think he's very excited. I mean, I talk to him every day. Listen, he's giving his opinion on things that he feel like he want to bring to the offense, which is great. And I think that us letting him play quarterback, he feels open to be able to do that. And that's one thing that you want. That head coach quarterback relationship has got to be on the top level, and then we're trying to create that.
So notice, Robbie, it's a thing. He goes out of his way twice to talk about letting him play quarterback. He's not going to directly say it, but he's insinuating that where he's been previously, the coaches have not let him play the position like a true quarterback, that they've taken away
aspects of his game. They maybe have dumbed down the offense because they didn't trust his ability to be able to go through progressions and run, a real NFL offense. That's the vibe I get, that they truly think this guy could take a huge step forward as not just an elite runner, which we know he already is, but take a huge step forward as an all-around passer. Like we've seen Jalen Hurts improve. We've seen Lamar Jackson improve those areas of their games.
It's hard to understand what he's trying to get at there, because what was the criticism of Chicago when Fields was running the offense? It was tailor the offense around him, what he does well with his legs. That was the main criticism I remember. They were trying to run more of a pro style offense as opposed to more of a Harbaugh, Greg Roman, Hurts, Lamar offense. So I don't. It's kind of both. It's kind of just coach speak to me, because Glenn says on one hand, okay, we're going to do this, let him be a quarterback, let him do what he wants to do, blah, blah, blah. But then he says we're going to utilize his skill set, and everything else in terms of when he talks to reporters and answers questions is about receiver run blocking. Man, if you're a receiver, you better run block. And that's the first thing Glenn thinks about right away when you bring up a receiver. So what does that tell you? They're going to run the hell out of the ball. It's one of those things, I think, where they're locked into that trying to draw Fields here. They had to promise him QB1 status. And that's kind of, I love Glenn in terms of his leadership, in terms of his coaching. I think he's going to be a good one. Like, I'm trying not to go too crazy. I'm trying to find things in which I can nitpick, but I like a lot from what I see. But the one thing I don't like is promising him QB1 status when all he talks about is competition, and right off the bat, and not promising anything, guys. So it's kind of out of both sides of his mouth in regards to attracting Fields here. But that's it. Everything else seems good, but I really do think they're going to lead the league in rush attempts. I think it's going to be, whether it's 11 personnel, 12 personnel, it is going to be Fields, Brees, Braylon on the ground all day.
Well, especially when he goes out of his way to not just mention Brees Hall when asked specifically about him, but to then highlight Braylon Allen and Isaiah Davis as well.
Yeah, dude.
They're going to run the hell out of the football, and they should. I mean, that's a path to win games. We've seen it. It still could work. You could fix the defense, keep the other team's offense on the sideline, dominate the line of scrimmage. It's worked. The last time we saw it truly work with the Jets, this guy was on the sideline.
Yeah, here we come, baby. Here we come. Here come the Jets, baby.
Yeah. Here comes Frank P. Are you kidding me? A 20 spot of channel memberships have just been gifted.
Get your ass off my super chats. Some of these are gifted memberships too.
Hey.
The hell with it.
Here we go, baby. Strap up, Robbie. Strap up. We got 20 names to read from the Frank P. Frank, you are the man. We'll get you down in our Super Bowl III themed raffle immediately with this 20 spot of channel memberships. Here we go. The following 20 people are now channel members. Make sure you subscribe to the channel to be eligible to get a membership. Jerome Bolden, John Nestle, John Gallagher, Theodore Gauntlet, Nick Stinchcomb, Alex Zokalali, Mexican Boy, Alan D-Bag, Richard Gonzalez, Jaime Gonzalez, Roy Parks, Brett Sanderson, Julius Pimpin 101, Jason Shamir, Raymond Trinkle III, JC, Blake Carson. JC, you're a Bills fan. I don't like you, but thanks for watching. James Hogan, Sonic Boom, Joe I, Bobby Balls. What a name. That might have been 20. All right, that's apparently 20. Thank you to the Frank P. By the way, for those tuning in for the first time all week, here's what we're giving away this week in our weekly raffle. Signed Joe Willie helmet, signed Don Maynard helmet, signed Weave Eubank helmet. I know Sabo loves this. And then a replica Super Bowl III Ring of Greatness. Joe Namath's replica Super Bowl ring is the fourth prize in the ASMANIAC raffle. So congrats to everyone who's entered, and someone's going to get some really good prizes this week on the show. I want to play you another clip, Robbie. Yesterday, Aaron Glenn pushed back against Rich Cimini when Cimini tried to ask him about Tanner Engstrand's inexperience as a play caller and inexperience coming from an offense with a quarterback like Justin Fields. And I thought the exchange was telling. Here's Aaron Glenn versus Rich Cimini.
Tanner, that was a pure drop back offense, with Goff. So what kind of training? Because he's never been in an offense.
Well, it's apparent that you haven't seen what he's done over his career. Because when he was in college under Harbaugh, he had a running offense. So,
yeah.
What do you think?
I think Cimini's has the unfortunate role of the guy Glenn is trying to establish a certain authority with so far, which is pretty funny. But yeah, I agree with Glenn. We've talked about Engstrand. I know you have a lot of people on, Jake, but the first guy that came to my mind, and I mentioned it, is Harbaugh. Because it's probably because of Fields and Glenn's intent, what I'm trying to do in terms of read the tea leaves. So yeah, do I think of a Ben Johnson offense or a Harbaugh offense with Engstrand and Fields and Glenn and what the Jets are trying to do? It's Harbaugh all the way. I mean, there's no question about it. And that's another example. I mean, so all this stuff about Glenn wanting Fields to play quarterback, it's not untrue. It's true. But it's so far secondary compared to what Fields brings in terms of what Hurts does, what Lamar does, what Jaden Daniels does. And as a defensive mind, you're going to be enamored with that. I think it's a lower ceiling, but it's a much higher floor. Maybe the Eagles winning the Super Bowl swings the pendulum a little bit more towards rushing, towards the defense. Prior to the Eagles winning, it was all, stud pocket quarterbacks, basically, or at least dual threat, where they don't have to use their legs on every play. And hopefully that's the case. But yeah, man, Harbaugh. Think Harbaugh, Greg Roman. Think that, as opposed to Ben Johnson.
I do like Glenn having his OCs back for what it's worth. I
yes,
like that.
And Cimini. I laugh, man, because it seems like, and listen, Glenn is not, he's not discriminatory. He'll crush anyone. I'm sure he'll crush everyone this year at one point.
He gave Antoine. He gave Antoine.
Yeah, Antoine.
He gave him the business a little bit too.
Yeah, he gave him the business. Yeah, it's funny. It won't be the last one. There'll be a lot more, which is pretty cool. I like it.
Yeah, I like it. I mean, and also like I don't think he hates Cimini for those writing in the chat.
No,
he's got a relationship with the guy that goes back a long time, so he's comfortable with him.
100%. It's just part of the game. That's all it is. It's part of the game. It's unintentionally by design. Like I don't think he woke up and said, "Hey, I'm going to do this," but I just, based on the vibe, it's how it's going.
No, I like it. You got to hold people accountable, and you change the tone around the organization with stuff like that. Like Salo was too buddy with the media, tried to be everyone's friends.
Yes.
I think players, they see that. I think they need to get rid of the country club attitude that has been with this previous administration, and hopefully stuff like that and what they do behind the closed doors, most importantly, changes it.
Can't agree more. Love it. I mean, it's like you said, no pressure for Fields. I kept checking my email, for the invite, for the itinerary. It just never came. And there'll be a lot more signs in terms of social media and stuff in that regard. We'll see what happens this summer.
Here was the other funny moment from Aaron Glenn yesterday, pushing back on a reporter's question.
Getting him was critical for us to continue to build this defense.
How do you feel like he fits in with your defense?
We wouldn't have signed him if I didn't think he would fit in.
No, I said how. How do you think he fits in?
He fits in very well. We wouldn't have signed him if I didn't think he could fit in.
Jamie and Sherwood, the player he's talking about, re-signing there. It's funny.
A little ornery there.
Yeah, Buffalo Jet fan made this point on Twitter. He's so right. In the past, when Salo was asked about like personnel moves or players, he would often just refer to Joe Douglas, right?
Mm-hmm.
Aaron Glenn there just continues to confirm what we already knew. He's the guy, right? Like
he's the boss.
I wouldn't have re-signed him if he wasn't a fit. Like Aaron Glenn might be the head coach and Darren Muji might be the GM, but there's no move that's being made that Aaron Glenn is not 100% on board with.
Correct. And who was the reporter there? Do you know?
That was Antoine.
That was Antoine who asked? Okay.
Yep.
I think the follow-up, if I was there or someone asked, I think the question is, how does Sherwood fit in? Maybe Antoine was trying to get to this. How does Sherwood fit in with Quincy? Because that's the real question. Quincy going into his last year, is Sherwood heavy enough to fill, to spill, to feel good about that duo? I think that's the question that remains to be seen. And
So-
we'll get the answer. We'll get the answer quickly.
I heard this from Darren Muji when he spoke with Eric Allen in the Jets, in-house podcast they put out.
Yep.
He alluded to them wanting to play more press man this year.
Oh, yeah.
and
They're going to do that a lot.
So that's part of the reason why they, like Brandon Stevens. They think he's big, he's long, he's a perfect complement to Sauce. I mean, we'll find out if they can coach him up because Ravens fans were celebrating him going somewhere else. So we'll see. But that to me screams, and you're a coach, Robbie, so you could speak to this more than I could. I'm an untrained, disgruntled Jet fan. But that to me screams they're going to blitz. They're going to blitz with Sherwood. And they're going to blitz with Quincy. I think we're going to see if you're going to play press man, that to me sounds like you're sending the house to get home because you can only do press man for so long with your corners before someone's eventually going to get open. You know what I mean? Like you have to get home if you're going to do that much press man on the outside.
Yeah, from that regard, dude, when you go sub package and you're thinking pass, Glenn loves to blitz. Only Flores blitzed more than him last year. Having Quincy and Sherwood as the two backers, it doesn't get much better than that in terms of pass coverage, in terms of going sideline to sideline, in terms of getting to the quarterback. So that's ideal. Same thing with Stevens and Gardner, big guys. I mean, Stevens remains to be seen, but yeah, press, trail, under, inside hip, maintain that contact. There's going to be a ton of aggressive looks on defense. But in terms of linebacker, his real challenge, Glenn's real challenge is going to be a run defense. How do you overhaul the mindset of this front in terms of run defense? Because Saleh played a specific way. And Glenn mentioned it in the presser. He said, I've been in schemes in wide 9 where you try to get downhill. That's Saleh. And I've been in schemes where it's square to the line of scrimmage and react. So react and attack. So and he mentioned the two polar extremes. He has an idea of what he wants to do, but he's not going to intentionally let anything slip out and provide those signals. I would say this in terms of run defense, he probably wants to try to add another linebacker, a third linebacker that's heavier, that could play in the 4-3 and really attack the gaps and fill and spill like Campbell in Detroit. And then you'd have a trio of backers.
If you're watching this live right now, I want to give a huge shout out to a listener who just purchased merch while I was on the air. Carrie just bought a brand new Asmaniac Adidas performance hat. What did Carrie buy? He bought this hat, baby. Hell yeah. Brand new Adidas line hats in the merch store at jakeasman.com. We have them in both white and black. They say Asmaniac on the front, Jake Asman Show on the back. We also have the Jake Asman Show on the front and the Asmaniac on the back in both black and white. So brand new hats. Take advantage if you so choose. I'm rocking the King Lowski inspired bucket hat right now, Robbie. And King Lowski actually wrote in that your hair is more famous than you are.
I mean, it's the most obvious statement this week. Jeez. Come on, Lowski. I expect so much better, brother. Come on.
Prestige Shogun got a channel membership while in the middle of English class. Prestige, I hope English class is going well. Man.
They still teach English, huh?
They do, apparently. Ricky writes in, how did Robbie get his hair back from Bobby Midnight? You're going to have to see what Bobby Midnight's hair looked like yesterday. It was slick back. It was looking very Sabo-like. They were calling him Bobby Sabo on the show yesterday.
So I know when we first started, or like in the early goings of meeting Bobby, he would dye his hair. Am I incorrect in that?
Actually, I don't know the answer to that.
I think he would dye his hair. We had a convo. I said, Bobby, I don't know how my hair came up, but Bobby, you gotta be who God made you to be. If you're gray, let it hang out, dude. Let it get some air. And he's gone to the gray. So Bobby, I'm proud of you, buddy.
Now you look good. He had a big interview yesterday. We might find out later this week if he's getting a job.
Nice. Which one is this? It's not Burger King, right? It's a different one.
This would be the hotel job.
Nice.
He'd be serving food at the hotel.
That's right. Bellboy immediately came in my head, and I thought better of it. Yeah.
Would you like to be served sausage from Bobby Midnight?
Patties or links?
Your
patties only.
Dealer's choice.
Probably. Patties.
Okay.
Patties are okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching live right now, please hit the like button. Please subscribe to the channel. Quick reminder before we get to Asmaniac Madness, the show's available in podcast form. Download it in audio form if you so choose. Apple or Spotify, just search Jake Asman Show. It comes right up. Please leave a 5-star review if you want to support us and help this channel continue to grow. All right, the stage is officially set. We have one matchup left in the Train Region round of 32, and then Sweet 16 play will begin on my second show this afternoon between Charles Gorman, the number 1 overall seed, and the 4 seed, the big fella. But first, we have to get through one final battle. VMAN, the 2 seed, Doug on the couch, the 10 seed. Can Doug pull off the upset? Ladies and gentlemen, the polls are about to open. We hand things over first to the voice of Asmaniac Madness. Here is Jim Nance.
It's time for Asmaniac Madness. Who will cut the nets down as the top Asmaniac for 2025? Some of you don't even care, but we do. Let's get to it.
Vote.
Who made
Vote.
that Doug on the couch logo?
That's all Gator.
Gator, did you take Doug Funny font from Nickelodeon? That looks like Doug Funny font. And I see the comments. Yeah, dude, links are much better than Patty's, no question. I'm just saying, from Bobby, I'll take the Patty from Bobby if he's serving it for me.
Ladies and gentlemen, vote, vote, vote. V-Man, Doug on the couch this afternoon. Sweet 16 play gets underway on the show. It's going to move fast. I mean, you get to the Sweet 16, the matchups, I mean, it goes quick. Goes real quick. Here's a look at the first 2 Sweet 16 matchups for you, Robbie. Gorman and Big Fella, King Lowski, and Dave Briga. Dave Briga, the highest seed remaining in the tournament. And by high, I mean the highest number. Obviously, the top seed is Charles Gorman, who is a 1. Lane Kerner is the other 1 seed that survived the round of 32. So we still got 2 1 seeds left in Asmaniac Madness.
Yeah, dude. Listen, it's thank God for Asmaniac Madness again. I am so disappointed with the actual March Madness. I can't even tell you. And it's not just because I'm a Johnny's fan. Not just because of that. It's just the NIL destroyed it. It's not going to get better. It's not.
Jets Johnny is in the Asmaniac raffle for 10. Let's go.
It's the Asmaniac membership raffle. For every membership gifted, you receive 1 ticket entered in the raffle to win epic prizes.
T-Jets, Chris Zeigler, Brandon R., Marcus Burke, Tyler, Jazzy, Jonathan Rapp, Radical Bongos, Roy Spence, and Niza Johnson, all receiving channel memberships in the Asmaniac raffle. We got some epic prizes this week, so it's been cool to see the amount of people who want in our great Super Bowl theme raffle. Let me get to a couple comments here, and then I want to talk more about what both Muji and Glenn said, specifically with Elijah Vera Tucker, according to Muji, being a guard. I have a couple thoughts on that. I thought more about it after yesterday, and I have a new take after what I said yesterday on that. Dave Briga writes in, let Glenn do all the talking. Woody, stay in the back room, please. I think every Jet fan agrees with this. Anytime Aaron Glenn speaks, you like what he has to say. You feel confident that he actually believes what he's saying. He, I think, represents the organization really well. So I completely agree. Glenn is now the face of the franchise until, maybe at some point they find a franchise quarterback. I guess it could be Fields, we hope. But, until, further notice, just like Rex was kind of the face of the Jets, Glenn feels like the true face of the organization right now.
Yes, he's the decision maker. It's the one thing, the presser that when they introduced Muji and Glenn, that was the one thing that was left unanswered. Who's in case of a tie, which there'll be many, there has to be that one final true boss. I know officially they're both reporting to Woody, but unofficially, realistically, there's one boss, and that is Glenn.
Well, let's call for what it is. Woody Johnson referred to Darren Muji as Glenn's sidekick in that opening press conference.
Yeah, dude. It's true. It can't get much more transparent than that.
I mean, it's just,
and listen, as a Jets fan, you got to feel good about it based on the fact that Glenn has a scouting background. And I'll say this story again. Someone from the Jets told me when he was a scout with the Jets, he recognized, I forgot what draft it was, Mike Evans, and there was a ton of good receivers in that draft, and Glenn was on it early. He was all over Evans, saying this guy is going to be the best receiver in this class by far, Hall of Fame talent. And he couldn't have been more right.
You know why he probably had inside knowledge on Mike Evans? Where did Mike Evans go to school?
Jeez, I don't even remember.
Texas A&M.
Did he really?
Yeah, Manziel was his quarterback in college.
So you got to wonder, was it just a lucky guess, a favorable guess? Ooh, you just
I think
crushed
Glenn probably
all
watched
the
him a lot.
fans' hopes and dreams.
Well, so I backstory on that because I did radio in Texas for 6 years in Houston.
Yes.
Glenn is from Humboldt, Texas, which is a suburb of Houston. And Mike Evans is from Galveston, Texas, which is like a suburb of the Houston area. So he probably knew Mike growing up in the same circle. And he went to A&M. Obviously, Aaron Glenn's one of the more famous Texas A&M football players, famous alums, successful alums.
Yep.
So I think he probably had an inside track on Mike Evans. He knew the character, he saw the talent, and he was ahead of the curve.
Makes sense. And listen, knowing that much, it's sometimes even tougher to vouch for a guy and pick that out, because you don't want to feel like you're not being objective. You don't want to feel like you're favoriting a guy, but he was 100% right. 2014 NFL draft. I forgot which other receivers were in the draft. Maybe I'll look it up, but on with the show we go.
What do you make of Darren Muji saying Elijah Vera Tucker is a guard?
Yeah, I'm good with it. I get your point that if you put him at tackle, you don't have to worry about tackle. It's easier to grab a guard. In a lot of ways, Vera Tucker at tackle suits this offense because he could be, a nice run blocking right tackle, but he's not exactly a mauler. He's more of a technique guy. He's more of a agile guy instead of a overpowering mauler. And I think right tackle is the spot for the Jets where they really want a dominant dude like Becton, for example. A Becton type who doesn't get hurt. A mauler who could just destroy guys on that right side. So I think in that regard, I like it. I like keeping him at guard. I know he was playing guard when he tore his Achilles. He was playing tackle in Denver when he was hurt for the year. What was that injury? Labrum? Torn labrum? What was it?
Yeah,
elbow. I forget already. But
it was an unconventional injury. And I don't think he got hurt because he happened to be playing tackle.
Yeah,
he got hurt at guard this year. He got hurt as a rookie playing left guard.
Agreed. I don't think that's the end-all, be-all. But
triceps tear.
Triceps, that's right. I don't think it's the end-all, be-all, but I think there's a certain percentage that helps him stay on the field. Like keeping him in a more comfortable spot might lessen the risk. It's not black and white, in other words. So I'm cool with it. Staying at right guard, I'm cool with it.
Well, the thing is, if you're going to play him at right guard, my thought process was they also mentioned his flexibility. Like Muji acknowledged, yeah, we know that we could put him outside if we had to. Do you think part of that is maybe negotiations looking down the line? Like if they come out and say he's a tackle, then all of a sudden AVT's agent's like, well, you got to pay him like a tackle. So if they say he's a guard for now, and then, later on in the summer, maybe do an old switcheroo, something like that. Could that be in the cards here, or am I looking too much into it?
It's a great point. I wouldn't say you're looking too much into it. I think it's a worthy thought.
Tackles make way more than guards.
100%, and this is his option year. So hell of a thought, but I think this is what halts me. Is what I just mentioned before. The type of offense that they're going for. And AVT, although he's a good run blocker, he's not that mauler type that pave you down and step on your throat type that you want at right tackle in this type of offense. Because if you look at the offensive line, it's not big. It's not a big offensive line. And to get a little bigger, you want that guy to be at right tackle. He could be at right guard, no question. But in a running offense, you want that seal on that right side. And for that reason, it's a worthy thought, but I wouldn't go too far with it.
John makes a good point. JD Surf City. Jets could also want teams to think they're going to take a tackle at 7. Yeah, maybe that's part of it as well. Like, hey, we have this hole at right tackle, and it's like, well, they've already said AVT's a guard, so we got to get in front of the Jets because we got to get Membu if he's there, or Campbell if he's there. Like that to me is the other aspect in that too. I do think he's going to end up being the guard, though. I think they're going to take the tackle at 7. I don't know if you have any feelings one way or another at this stage, 23 days out from this draft, Robbie, but I'm fully expecting a tackle at this point. At 7.
Yeah, I mean, for the last few shows, I've been on tackle. Trenches. And we were talking about Warren last week. I don't disclude Warren. I still have him in the mix, but I think it's going to be tackle. And, both guys, especially Membu, that's the dude. That's the big dude right there that they'd want at right tackle. And by the way, if you're going to apply the same theory to, draft strategy and smoke with AVT. You got to do it with Fields too. Labeling him QB1 right now. I know Glenn said you have to have a depth chart and stuff, but yeah, you got to have a depth chart, but not right now.
They're not taking a quarterback at 7, though.
They're not taking a quarterback, but objectively speaking, you could also apply that theory. I wouldn't personally, but it actually raises interesting questions, I could say, if you want to go down that path and that rabbit hole.
Shout out to 99 Jet. Just bought the Asmaniac hat in black. Carrie, I gave you a shout out earlier in the show, right after you bought it. So if you want to hear me shout you out, rewind about 10 minutes ago. Thanks for supporting the show, my man. I hope you enjoy the brand new hat. Jay Quest writes in, Robbie, I'm still in bed. Please motivate me to get up and shower.
Oh, man, dude. What do you... It's like the impossible task of all tasks. It's 10:46, man. I'm going to shame you into this. You're disgraceful. Get your ass up.
This is the guy that beat Bobby Midnight, by the way. Jay
stay in bed. You're done. Your life is over. Just turn over and go into the fetal position.
Now, he does work overnight, so just some context.
Oh, well, I don't care. You beat my guy. Just, there's no hope.
Bo with a super chat. Thank you, Bo. Question, what possible scenario do you see a successful playoff run using only the draft and existing roster? No V-Girl for me. Well, V-Man might not be for you, Bo, but V-Man is dominating right now. 80-20 with almost 200 votes that have been cast. Hey, V-Man is an all-timer, man. He's a 2 seed for a reason. So Doug's got his work cut out for him, I should say, if he's going to come back. We'll hear from Doug coming up as our first caller in just a bit. But all right. So his question is, what possible scenario could we see a successful playoff run, just looking at this roster and then the draft?
Yeah.
To me, the path is you draft 3 immediate plug-and-play starters in this draft. Fields takes a huge step forward from where he's been to what he's now going to be. And Aaron Glenn's one of the better coaches in the league. Like, he has a great year one, like Mangini in 06, like Rex in 09, like even Bowles won 10 games and kind of caught lightning in the bottle in 2015. Like, you need something like that. You need great coaching. You need some of these free agent signings on 1-year deals to hit, like Cisco, and they need Stevens to be a real player. Like, a lot of the moves they've made, they have to work if this team is going to be a playoff team.
Take the draft out of it. Under Saleh, which players have hit their ceiling? Truly. Sauce, I think you could put Sauce in there in the first 2 years. But other than Sauce, Jermaine, no. Quinnen, I would say, hell no. Garrett, no. Tippmann, no. AVT, no. I mean, he's been injured, obviously. Brees, no. Coaching. So forget about the draft. If Glenn is a coach and Hank Strand's a coach and they have a legit coaching staff and half of these guys hit their ceiling in terms of what they're capable of, I could see a playoff team easily. I mean, it's about coaching. It's about putting the guys in the right spots, and it's about not walking on eggshells, but taking every moment and every instance seriously enough that you have to worry about not letting the guy next to you down, and that's gonna make a major impact right away.
Shout out to J-Boy, who's in the Asmaniac raffle now for 5.
Show me the money. Show me the money! Money.
Yeah. Alma Club, Marcus Clark, Henry Slatt, Video Matt, Slick with the Kicks, all receiving channel memberships. 5 raffle entries there for J-Boy. Once again, if you tuned in late, here's the prizes that we have so far. Signed Joe Namath helmet in the old school looking helmet. Signed Don Maynard helmet with Hall of Fame insignia on there. Signed Coach Weeb Eubank helmet. Super Bowl 3 is our theme this week, so we're also giving away a replica Joe Namath Super Bowl 3 ring. Those are the prizes. Gift away if you can't gift the membership because you're on your phone. Another way to enter is to send in a super chat of $20 for 5 entries, super chat of $50 for 10. How about our guy Bo C? One of the greats. He's in the raffle for 10.
Now, give me money. Or I shoot him. And I shoot all you motherfuckers. And then we take it. Your choice, bitches.
Bo, you are the man. I believe you won the San Antonio Holmes helmet last week, so got a good chance of winning another prize this week. WC.
Yeah, I remember Bo last week, actually. I have a bad memory, but I remember Bo. Bo knows.
Yeah, Bo knows, man. He's been supporting the show for a while, so we appreciate that. Big Zeus, Eric Stone, All-Star Stilgo, AJ, SMN, Itro, Mario, Super Hempy, Oliver, all receiving memberships there from Yo Bo. Bo C, appreciate you. Here we go. Big fella, super chat. Jake, I'm ready for this afternoon. Hopefully you finally get to crack the Henny. The flatulator will be vanquished. So big fella is going up against the #1 seed in our tournament, Charles Gorman. Do you give big fella a shot against Charles Eugene M. Gorman?
I do, man, because big fella, he's been campaigning, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
And he's sort of on a roll. He's like the 2009 Jets in a way, left for dead initially. Rex Ryan, oh, it's disappointing we missed the playoffs when they went to 7-7, and suddenly everything broke right. So maybe it's that cosmic whatever, Rex and the big fella are one and the same, and it's just Rex's soul in another Asmaniac's body, and big fella goes all the way.
Devin writes in, you got a block to get the rock. Love it.
Yes.
Glenn's good in these media sessions, man. He is. You got to give him that.
He absolutely is. I think it's important to call him out fairly if he missteps. And I think the Fields thing, promising him QB1, I understand you have to do certain things to get a quarterback, to get a guy you want, and they had to do that. Would Glenn have wanted to do that? No, but in order to get Fields, he had to do it. You can call it out.
Let's be real, though, right? Mm-hmm. You gave him $30 million guaranteed. There was no scenario where he's not starting week 1.
For sure, but I only call it out in reference as it's contrast to everything else he says. That's all. I'm not hammering him for it. I get it. But I think it's also, we just can't pass it by. You got to call it out. But other than that, dude, he's spot on. It's everything you want so far in a guy. Now we'll see in terms of strategy. We'll see in terms of the summer, how the program goes. Everything I hear right now in terms of what they're doing in their offseason training, I love. So far, so good.
You want to laugh at one of the most ridiculous quotes from Woody Johnson yesterday? I think Justin Fields. Go ahead.
I didn't see the Woody video yet, so this is going to be good.
Well, I don't have video of it.
Okay, let me hear the quote.
These were with the beat reporters. I think Justin Fields is going to be a total winner for us. I've been impressed with him since his college days. It was he or Trevor Lawrence, and I think he's going to be really good. He or Trevor Lawrence. You had the second pick in the draft. You took Zach Wilson. Own it, Woody. Own it. Stop passing blame to others. Yeah. Stop with the revisionist history. Own it. Own your failures. You have failed. You failed then. You have continued to fail since. Own it. It's ridiculous that this quote is a real thing.
I mean, it's tough. It's tough. And listen, see, the coach in me, and it's boring and people hate it. I get it. Fans roll their eyes, but the coach in me always goes to whoever they drafted. It's about the coaching. It's about making that guy work out. So I think that's what Woody should try to adjust his mindset to more. That the guy they drafted in Zach, you failed him. It's not that Zach failed you. That's the mindset flip that I think he has to have. We failed Zach, not that Zach was the wrong pick.
It's just such a stupid quote. And then to call Justin Fields a total winner. He's 10-28 as a starter. It's laughable. Yeah. Stop it.
Yeah, I get it. But flip that mindset. It's not about Fields. It's not about Zach. It's, you either succeed with a kid and you do the right thing, or you fail with them, and you failed with them.
Yeah, I mean, look, Woody didn't like Saleh and Douglas, and he would tell people, well, I didn't hire them. My brother did. Yeah. Joe Douglas hired Saleh. It's like, well, you have now hired Glenn and Muji. These are your hires. It's the first time since Bowles and McCagnon that Woody Johnson oversaw head coach and GM hires together. Mm-hmm. Like, these are your guys. You need to now stay the F out of the way and let them do it however they want to do it. Me personally, I could disagree with some of the moves they made or whatever, but like, I just want Aaron Glenn and Darren Muji being the ones making the moves, not Woody Johnson. That's my big thing.
Yes, agreed. And Woody, he's had some hits. Bradway, and actually, I don't know if was Bradway there in the Parcells regime, but regardless, Herm, Bradway, Tannenbaum was a holdover from Parcells, so it wasn't a Woody hire, but he promoted him. Mangini, excellent hire. Rex, excellent hire, worked out. And then, it's been fail after fail ever since.
Breaking news: the tush push is being tabled till at least May. They didn't have enough votes, so they pulled it.
Yeah, dude, get Glenn some truth serum. I bet you he secretly doesn't want that to be abolished.
We're tushing the push, baby.
Listen, defensive mind. Dude, Jake, I'm not one of those I told you so guys, but the show we did after the Super Bowl, I thought Fields, when we brought up Fields, I thought that's a guy I could see Glenn wanting that type of offense, because if you're a defensive mind, there's nothing more heartbreaking than doing everything right on 3rd and 8, 3rd and 7, covering, rushing the passer, doing everything. And then the quarterback runs for 15 yards and just breaks your heart. So I get it. Tush push, not that the Jets could pull it off with Tippmann, that tall center, but it allows possibilities to remain. I bet you he wants the rule to push the offensive player to stay, because if that gets removed, that hurts you in terms of if you're a running quarterback offense like Hurts, like Lamar, they definitely hurt you.
It would be a joke if they banned the tush push just because the Eagles are really good at it. Like, give me a break.
Yeah.
There's no evidence that any players have gotten hurt on the play, so that's bogus that the Packers were trying to put out there in the original proposal to get rid of it. It's just sour grapes from people who are jealous the Eagles have mastered a play. Every team could do that play. Not every team can run it like the Eagles can. I'm not an Eagles fan, but it'd be the softest thing ever if they got rid of that play.
I think we disagree a little bit. I don't give the Eagles any flack. I think they did the right thing. I don't hate the play. I hate the rule change. There was just no reason to change the rule in 2005. For what purpose? For more offense? I mean, forever you weren't allowed to push the offensive player. So why change it? I just don't get it. Maybe some of that is my defensive background. Every rule change has favored the offense, except for the push out of bounds rule on the sideline. Back in the day, a lot of younger kids can't believe this, but they would award completions to receivers if they got no feet in, but the ref judged that the feet would have landed in bounds if not pushed out of bounds. That's the only rule I could think that favors the defense, where they changed.
Big fella. Last year they destroyed the kickoff. This year they killed the tush push. Goodell sucks. They moved the kickoff back, so you're gonna get even more returns this year.
Yeah, dude, the kickoff is just outrageous. Get rid of it. Why are we going through this exercise of kicking the ball and having everyone run 50-yard sprints downfield? Well, now it's different, but you get the idea. It's stupid. If kickoffs are only going to happen 5 or 10% of the time, just get rid of it. Make them start at the 25. The only thing I asked for them to do is I didn't like them changing the push rule in 2005. I thought it was silly. It's too much. It's too much of a scrum. It's too much guaranteed nature when teams start to perfect it more, and they will. Fix the onside kick. There's no drama at the end of games when these teams can't get onside kicks. Make it an offensive play. Make it 4th and 17.
What was the XFL that has the rule? It's like 4th and 15. You convert that, you get the ball. I like that.
It's the perfect play. Just at this point, get rid of the kickoff. Make them start at the 20 or 25, and let onsides be 4th and 17 or 4th and 15, whatever the analytics say, starting at your own 30. And then if you get it, you go from there. And if you don't get it, the other team takes over.
Chris Grasso is gifted a channel membership. Chris, thank you. We'll get you in the ASMANIAC raffle for one. Chris, you calling from school today? You're gifting from school right now? Spending that allowance money? S. Willis is the recipient of Chris G's channel membership gift. All right, Robbie. Let me get to this quick super chat here, and then we'll hear from Doug on the couch to see if he could try and get some votes to make this a battle here. Big Will writes in, do you guys feel Woody ever watches any of these Jet shows to hear what we want and how we feel? Well, I know for a fact he does, or people around him do. That's been essentially confirmed. I mean, Woody Johnson has referenced Jets X Factor in meetings with Jets team brass. That was a big thing in the athletic stories that came out.
Yeah. They know what's going on. The PR team, ownership, they are very smart in terms of PR and media. They have some good people. So they know what's going on 100%.
Ladies and gentlemen, Connor Long spends his allowance money as well. Gentlemen, stop spending money on my channel, all right? I appreciate it, but I want you guys to save your money to buy pizza and Pepsi products, right?
And school items like notebooks and Trapper Keepers.
Connor Long's membership went to listener Matthew McBaron. Thank you very much, Connor. All right, quick super chat here. Then we hear from Doug on the couch. Adam is too cool says, if a kickoff goes to the uprights, give the kicking team a point.
The only way I'd allow that is if they get rid of the special kicking footballs. That's another thing where, field goals are outrageous these days. The legs on the guy. And I think part of it has to do with the special kicking footballs that they have. And I see comments in here saying, people are saying kickoffs are part of the game. Yeah, man. Dude, if it was up to me, I'd go back to the way it used to be. Regular kickoffs from the, 35, and then they backed it up to the 30 at some point a couple decades ago. That's what I would do, regular kickoffs. But the point is, if you're going to take it to this level where they never happen, just get rid of it. Don't halfway it. That's my point.
Bang Mateo says, Robby is Warren at 7, an overreaction from last year's anti-Bowers, and we have record crowd.
Yeah, maybe from the media and fan standpoint, sure. Some of that is in there. I don't think Jake is overreacting from last year. I don't think other people are. But as a whole, maybe. But if the Jets select Warren, I don't think it has anything to do with Bowers. It's, Glenn wasn't here. He'll tell you. He wasn't here last year. He doesn't care.
To me, Brock Bowers was a different player than Tyler Warren. And the Jets had different needs a year ago. And it's a different draft class. I've said it. If there was a receiver with a similar grade as Warren, I'd prefer the receiver. I don't think there is. That's why I think Warren's more in play than he would have been if this was like last year, for example. Like the Jets have their left tackle. They have 4 starters on their O-line solidified. Warren's someone that could help you as a blocker, which is something that Bowers is not known for. Warren's a way better blocker. And Fields is going to throw to the tight end a lot. And they have a huge need at pass catcher right now. So I just think it's a different conversation than where this team was a year ago.
Dude, that you hit the nail right on the head. The offense the Jets have this year is a 180 from last year. It couldn't be more different. Fans haven't grasped this yet. Media hasn't grasped this yet. The offense we're going to see from the Jets is so drastically different from what we saw last year. It's not even. There's going to be such a learning curve. That's the one thing that you got to keep in mind. It is so drastically different what they're going to be teaching, what they're going to be implementing, the strategy. And Warren does fit that. Cole Kmet had some games with Justin Fields. This type of offense, the running offense, Fields has an arm, no doubt. He could chuck it, man. He's got a strong arm. But within this type of offense, RPOs, QB design runs, quick stuff where you have to decide in one read actions, the tight end's important. So it fits.
Doug on the couch. First up today. Doug, you're going to need a big rally in your bones, my friend. Right now, you're trailing 78-22 against VMAN.
I'm back on the OG couch. I got my ASMANIAC shirt. Thank you for sending it, by the way, Jake. It just, like I said on yesterday's show, this is a building year for Doug on the Couch University. We didn't expect to get the first round win. We did. We're thrilled with it. This is not our main sport. We focus our athletics in other departments. So this is a building year. And for the many ASMANIACs, as OGs knows, I'm more of an in-season caller than an off-season caller, whereas V-Man's a whole season caller, and that's where it gets in. My best work's during the season when that's going on. But like I said, we're happy to get our first round win. We were thrilled with it. We're going to build on it, and next year we'll come back bigger and stronger and bring it. And the transfer portal won't affect us because we have a wealthy alumni base who will invest more into this program. So we come back stronger, higher seed next year, and build on this and become a better program next year. But great first round win, great building year, and we just expect it to
Doug, where's Patty Mayonnaise right now? In the bathroom?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We're gonna figure out the blue thing for him. I know Doug funny.
I'm impressed. You look like a young fella from here, so I'm impressed.
I'm 27, and a lot of people told me, "Oh, Doug Funny. You ever heard of Doug Funny?" Doug, yeah, it's like, yes, I've heard of Doug Funny.
Yes.
And no one was ever concerned about his blue best friend. I guess they just rolled with it.
Who's his blue best friend? I forget.
I don't remember his name, but I know he was blue. I just remember.
Yeah, he definitely was blue. Yeah.
I knew I was going up against a giant today. Like I was there when V-Man fell asleep the first time. It was hilarious. Like I came back on the OG couch, hoped it would give me credit, but I saw it, and it's not. It's
Skeeter. It was
not
Skeeter.
Skeeter is his name, yeah. But you know what? There's no shame in losing to V-Man. Like I said, I was happy to get my first round win, and like I said, building year. And ASMANIAC, who knows who I've been here? I've been here for like the last three and a half years. I was here since I was living in Michigan. I'm more of a better in-season caller, but next year going into the next year's ASMANIAC Madness, we got more involved in the offseason, and that's how I get a higher seed, better matchups. But like I said, we were happy with that first round of victory. We see it as a building year. Anything after this was seen as a great success. So couldn't have been happier with the first round win. And it's going to give a lot of money to the program. And the Couch University are going to build it back and build the program stronger.
Dude, if you were king, you would hold court, man. You talk like 80 miles a minute, and I talk 15 miles a minute. Pretty impressive.
I'm told I got to slow down a little bit sometimes when I talk, though.
Yeah, I'm told the opposite.
Boomtown wants to know any update on the roommate's girlfriend situation, and then moving in on your couch territory.
She's gone. She's been exiled.
Wow.
Yeah, but my lease is up in the end of the month, so I got to find a new apartment, and with that, a new couch. But I had to go back on the OG couch for one last time at least, and bring it out, and hope it would bring a boost. But again, like I said, we knew what we were going up today, and like I said, our main sport. Like I went to Quinnipiac, so put it in this way: our main sport is hockey. We're growing the basketball program; it's growing. We were happy to get our first round victory. It was a great success, and we're going to find a way to invest, build the program, get that NIL money going up. It was a good year for Doug on the Couch University.
Well, Doug, I'll tell you what, you've gained at least a couple points during this call. So someone out there is voting for you.
And then also, I agree with you. We're going to be a very run-heavy offense this year. And also, I wouldn't be shocked if Garrett Wilson is like close to leading the league in targets, though, because of the connection in and Justin Fields have. So along with run-heavy, like if Garrett Wilson is like top 5 in targets, I would not be surprised at all, because him and Fields having that chemistry already, they're going to build on it. So I would not be shocked at all if Garrett Wilson is top 5 in targets this year coming into the league.
I don't disagree. Has it ever been Doug on the futon?
No, it's been Doug on the bed, Doug on the couch, Doug on the move, Doug on an undisclosed location, because that's in the family. So Doug can be on anywhere, but the OG is Doug on the couch.
Okay.
So, and this is the OG couch. This is the couch that all the calls from that the OG listeners know. Thought it would boost me up, but like I said, we knew we're happy with what we did today. We were happy with what we did in the first round, and we're going to build on it. We're taking the criticism, taking the calls. We know who loves us. We know who's behind us. Our alumni is proud. Our donors are happy, and the program's going to build on this. We just know that the program's going to build. Maybe it leads to a bigger and better couch. Who knows? But all we know, Doug on the Couch University is going to come back stronger and better.
Who's gonna be the best of the bunch? You get to pick the ones who make the show walk.
Speaks volumes that V-Man's dominating like this, and he hasn't called all week. Had no promotion, nothing, just straight. I know who I be, and vote for me. And it's working, 77-23. And I'll tell you what, if V-Man's going to win in the next round, he's going to need to show up, because he's going up against the 2 seed in his region, a guy who dominated a great ASMANIAC yesterday in Chef Kevin. Mr. Bones, he's going to be tough to beat. That is a 3-2 battle that V-Man's going to need to be on his game if he's going to take down a red-hot Bonesy.
It's quiet confidence. He's listening to Glenn.
Ladies and gentlemen, a look at the overall Sweet 16 bracket. Doug essentially gave us there a concession speech, so you can take a look for yourself. It's about to be set. 16 ASMANIACs remain. Gorman versus Big Fella this afternoon. Tomorrow, Lowski versus Dave Briga in the AM. We the People versus Peter Castro in the PM. Neil versus David T. J Quest versus Ricky NY. Craig versus Gary. Lane Train versus Clifton. Bonesy versus V-Man, as the Sweet 16 is essentially set here on the program.
Weed the People is still just an all-time classic name. Kudos.
Let's see. Bonesy writes in the words of the big fella, I'm coming for that ass, V-Man. Hell yeah.
Hell of a sentence.
Hell yeah. One more for you, Robbie. This one's from Ricky. He says, my dream mock. We trade out of the first round to Cleveland. We get 33, 67, 104, 2026 first and second. They keep number 2 and get Sanders at 7. I get it. You're calling it a dream mock. I don't think Cleveland, after they're just getting up from the Deshaun Watson deal, is going to jettison that many picks for Shador, who is not thought to be a top quarterback coming out this year.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. But, the hope is I get the idea. Cleveland's dumb enough to do it. So I get the idea. He labeled it correctly. Dream mock.
Keep dreaming, I would say, Ricky, but thank you very much. Robbie, what can you tell us about Jets X Factor other than the fact Michael Nania, it was like a mortal lock. He was going to do some bullshit about April Fool's today, which he did on Twitter earlier.
Oh, did he? I haven't checked it out yet. Don't spoil it for me. I gotta judge it objectively. Promo code ASMAN, ASMAN, for all the good stuff. I got a Justin Fields film review coming out shortly, in which I'm gonna go through film clips of what QB type design runs you could expect. Jet motion counter, power, RPOs, all that good stuff. So check it out. JetsXFactor.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, he is Robby Sabo. Robbie, enjoy your April 1st.
Bye.
Mr. Sabo in his weekly spot on the show. Get to more of your calls coming up. Reminder, get your draft party ticket. I saw Luppy got his ticket yesterday, so that's awesome. Thank you to the Lupp man. Looking forward to having him and a bunch of other great listeners there. Shout out to Liam, who bought a draft ticket yesterday, I'm seeing. If you got one, thank you. If you haven't got one yet, please go before we sell out. We're going to have probably close to 300 people there that night. It is going to be nuts. Nuts, I tell you. Your ticket includes a free drink. You also automatically get entered into the raffle for all the signed Jets merch and tickets and stuff we're going to be giving away that night. Plus, once I confirm it, I'll tell you some special guests that are going to be joining us that night that you'll get the chance to meet, take pictures with in person as well. Comments, questions, super chats. We'll cut the line. Bo with a $10 super chat. AVT, move the tackle. Brees, Corley, Allen in the backfield. Acquire a solid guard and receiver in the draft. Use number 7 on Tyler Warren. Then I think we're off to a great start. Maybe trade back at 72. I like this plan, Bo. My thought the last couple of weeks has been play Vera Tucker at right tackle because it gives you more flexibility going into the draft. And part of me still thinks maybe that's in the cards. Even though Muji did say he's a guard, I think there's a couple of angles to that. Future contract stuff. And maybe let teams think the Jets are going tackle, so Warren is more likely to be there at 7 or whoever they're identifying. I don't know. But I like your plan. For the Jets to have any success, they got to run the you-know-what out of the football. That's their only play. Like, Fields could be better as a passer. If you're expecting him to be an elite thrower of the football, that's not who he is. Doesn't mean he can't be better. But the offense has got to be tailored to being able to run the you-know-what out of the ball. J-Quest writes in, just got out of the shower. The 16 of us should be proud making it this far. I love the show. J-Quest, I love you. And, yeah, if you made it to the Sweet 16 in this, it's well-earned, man. It is certainly well-earned because we got some elite people that support the show, call in, engage every day year-round. And if you're one of the 16 that made it, testament to you. And if you didn't make it, it doesn't mean you're not a real Jet fan or Asmaniac either. It's really hard. Some of these matchups came down to less than 10 votes. One of them went to overtime. So, again, congrats to the Sweet 16 field. It will be official when we close the poll at the end of the show. But Doug gave us a concession speech. I feel comfortable now talking about it. Hire Aaron Glenn says, hire Aaron Glenn. I thought you were fire Aaron Glenn. Or is fire Aaron Glenn still out there? And now we have hire Aaron Glenn as the counter. Doug wrote in that Bonesy was my winner going into this, and I still feel good about it. I think Bonesy's got a great shot. We've seen OG Jet fans do well in this tournament. So I think Bonesy's in play. I think a Bonesy versus King Lowski potential national championship game is a real possibility. I think a Gary versus Bonesy Final Four could happen. I think a Lane versus Gary Final Four could happen. I think Kyle Clifton has a legit chance. He's an OG, a diehard Jet fan, calls all the time. So I think he could knock off Lane. We might get a Bonesy versus Clifton regional final. I think Craig is lovable and has it in him to maybe knock off Gary too. So we could get some significant stunners in the next round. Comments, questions, super chats, cut the line. Reminder about the raffle if you want to enter for your chance to win. We'll get to your calls coming up here on the show. But first, we pause for a quick commercial break. Ladies and gentlemen, Jake Asman Show continues right after this. Ladies and gentlemen, the great Robert C. is on the line. Hey, Robert, did you brush your hair with a vacuum?
It just puffs up like they say.
Your hair looks amazing.
Yeah, we got the house remodeled. It's all different. The walls got painted. Whoa, living on a prayer. They asked me to sing Living on a Prayer. Take my hand, we'll make it, I swear. Okay.
Bravo, Robert C. That was a tremendous call. Robert C. has called back in. Hey, Robert.
Hi, Jake. I'm decorating my house, and I haven't been able to call in a while. I just wanted to say hi because it's been too long, calling in. But the house, I'll show you my house.
Where's Tammy, Robert?
I don't know. Tammy, say hi. Yeah.
You want to sing more Bon Jovi for us?
I don't know. Yeah, halfway there. Sorry, I didn't write much material because I just threw this together.
Thank you for the call, Robert. Thank you very much. Robert C. called it twice. What a show. Gator, man. Try explaining the show to someone who doesn't watch the show. Kyle says the fact that Gator has so many wigs laying around his house is awesome.
Why do I want a coach whose fan base wants his head on a pike? Let me finish, okay? Are you...
You know what time it is?
Yeah.
Come on, everybody. Let's do some more rowers. 1, 2, 3, 4. Move that body up that floor. Right, left. Let's go. Come on. Pick that up. Let's get some arms going. Get some stretches going. Come on. 9, 10. Come on, baby. Yeah, you can move your body. Come on, everybody. Get up and do some exercise. Let's go. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Come on.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
I feel great. Come on, let's get some of that up there. What are you laughing at, VMAN? Pick those arms up, kid. Come on, what are you, a whipper, man? Don't give me that first, son.
Oh, shit, that wasn't VMAX. That was Kevin.
Let's get fucking like a monkey. Come on, girls, you guys can do this. 6.
Really?
Let's see if you guys can do it. Come on, pick it up. This muscle helps shake the muscle.
I'm feeling the burn. Let's go. Come on.
Okay, now the other side. Come on. Man, I feel good.
2, 4, 6, 8, 10. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10.
I'm eating. Beast, you can't out-exercise a bad diet, bro.
You have to look good. You gotta be lean. You gotta be mean.
You gotta have some weights in there.
You wanna be scary, don't you?
All right.
It's doing the air.
Have this. Have this. Next caller, let's go. Let's get Bobby Midnight in here. Let's bring him in here. Hey, yo, move and groove. Let's move and groove, shall we? Move your ass. Let's go. One.
Get your moving. Get your ass up. Get
Great job, Beast. Way to inspire people to get healthy on a Saturday.
And this is my nanny, babysitter, assistant, helper lady.
Hello.
Morgan.
Hello.
She goes to Oklahoma.
Morgan, how long have you been a nanny to Decker?
3 years. Since 2021.
Wow.
Yeah.
You and Gary's wife have done a great job because there's no way Decker turned out the way she did because of Gary. I'm just catching up on some of the comments here, and this is for everyone. You know who you are.
Calm your freaky down.
Just saying. Eric says, good thing Jake didn't put Bobby on. Could you imagine? Some of these comments, man. Jake, you don't want to read the comments. Oh, it's true. I can't even read these comments, man. You guys are terrible. Gary, what are your thoughts on everyone seemingly being a big fan of your nanny?
She's fantastic. She's the best.
She is. That she is.
Yeah.
Thank you for the time. Gary's nanny needs her own emoji. This chat is going wild today, folks. All right, this is for all you.
A lot of good-looking chicks in that family. Wow.
Bobby.
Oh yeah, baby. Things are about to get crazy here on the Jake Asman Show.
Calm your freaky down.
Sometimes we try, but that freaky just take us over.
Give him some of your loving voice.
Oh yeah, hide them kids.
Again, calm your damn freaky down.
Too sexy.
you gotta chill, man. Richard Todd is watching the show in delay, says, just saw Gary's nanny. Interesting. What's so interesting about it? Top Cat says we need Scott to normalize the chat again.
The Jets?
Yeah, they couldn't beat the Patriots.
You come into this house and bring up the Jets? Do you know how much disappointment I have had to live with from the Jets?
You've lived with disappointment? Are you serious? I haven't enjoyed a football season since 1969. Maybe 98 when Parcells was the coach for a year.
Get out of here.
That was good too. But that's it.
Understand, tonight is awful in here. Awful. I saw this on the schedule, Jets during the Christmas holiday. I took 4 Canadian aspirin with a little bit of codeine in it, just enough to give you that pop. Little 8% codeine never hurt anybody.
Raffle entries available now. Namath helmet, Maynard helmet, Weeb Eubank helmet, replica Super Bowl 3 ring. Comments, questions, super chats. We'll cut the line around here. Hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Bino writes in, Jacob, you're falling into a trap, writing off Brigga. If Brigga has proven anything, it's don't count out one punch Dave Brigga ever. I'm not counting Dave out. I was simply using the logic of people that have voted in this tournament. I was saying OG Jet fans that have watched the show for a while have done really well in this tournament. If you're a diehard Jet fan and you've been an OG Jake Asman Show viewer, you've done really well. And King Lowski embodies that as well as anyone. So that's all I was saying. I'm not counting out one punch Brigga. Are you nuts? You don't count out one punch Dave Brigga. You'd be foolish to do such a stupid thing like that. But King Lowski is a top seed for a reason. But I believe in achievement, so I'm definitely not counting out Brigga. That's a battle right there. That could be 50-50 going to overtime for all we know. All right? He's Brigga.
He thinks that Gary needs more shots upside his head. This cowboy hates when you don't believe in achievement. Well, they call him One Punch Brigga. The moon landing was free. They call him One Punch Brigga. His claim is not too dirty. One Punch Brigga. He did jokes just like his ass. One Punch Brigga. Doesn't know they need none.
Yeah, baby. Yeah, the Lump Man delivers. 5-spot channel membership. All right, here we go. We got 5 from the Lump Man. Thank him for your membership. If you got one, Luppy will get you down in the Super Bowl 3 raffle for 5. Emmanuel Holcomb, my guy from Queens, Black Jet, Matthew Pennington, any relation to Chad, Kenneth Duffy, all receiving channel memberships. Thank you, Luppy. All right, to the phones we go. I just mentioned this guy by name. Our King is on the line. King Lowski's next. What's up, King?
Jake, my brother, Jake, my brother. It's always good to see you on this Tuesday, my brother. Titty Tuesday, to be exact. Let me just say this, man. Okay, at the end of the day, man, much respect to the OG Dave Brigga. But let me just remind the chat a little bit. I ain't going to remind you too much, but I'm going to remind you a little bit of who I be, okay? Because, see, at the end of the day, you know, when I first started calling this show, it wasn't a lot of energy. It wasn't a lot of people really expressing how the hell they felt on this damn show, okay? But then it came to fruition when I started calling in. A lot of people started expressing them damn self, okay? A lot of people have something to damn say, and I love it because Jake loves it. okay? And I want to hear what everybody got to say, especially about the damn Jets, okay? Especially all you Jet fans out there that I love so dearly. But let me just say this, man. I was the first to call up on this damn show with some damn energy, okay? If I'm not mistaken, probably the first one that Jake ever gave a gifted Patreon membership to just because of my damn call, okay? All right, I don't want to hear nothing about nobody else on this damn show calling with some damn passion, some damn fire in their soul. You hear what I'm saying? Okay, I love this damn team. Been loving this damn team since 1993. Okay, I'm 36 years old, all right? Since I've been watching football, it's been all about the Jets, okay? So I don't want to hear nothing. It's all about the Jets. It's been about the Jets, and it's going to forever be about the damn Jets, okay? Now, I know y'all probably, why the hell you dressed up, Kane Lowski? I'm out here looking for another job. You already know, baby. Got to stay on the damn grind. All right, I'm inspired by Bobby Midnight, Charles Gorman, and all of the rest who's out here up there on their grind looking for a damn job, okay? Now, I got one, but I'm looking for another one. But let me just say this, man, okay? At the end of the day, baby, I like the fire and passion that was coming from Aaron Glenn. You damn right. You put them damn reporters in their damn place and let them know what the hell going on. Okay? At the end of the day, they need to be put in their place. But at the end of the day, we need to know what the hell going on with this team. And we need to know that you about business, son. Okay? That's what I like to see. And that's what I want to see throughout the damn season. Don't get on them damn sidelines and be making Colgate commercials and all of that bullshit. All right, and be doing your little clapping on the sideline. I want to see some damn fire and passion. You get in these damn players' face and you tell them what the hell needs to be done to win damn games, all right? That's all I got to say, Jake. I love you, baby.
We're the freaking New York Jets, so we're built for this shit.
King Lowski, everybody. The great King Lowski. Unreal. Unreal. More calls right now. Ladies and gentlemen, JJ is on the line. Hello, JJ.
Yo, what's going on, my friends? How's everyone doing today?
I'm good, JJ.
Jake,
who's Matthew? Is that your friend?
Oh, his name is Matthew Smith. He calls into the Bobby Midnight show.
Oh yeah, he trolls this channel all the
yeah,
time.
Me and him, I'm trying to become friends with him. I don't think he has a lot of friends, so that's what that's about. But let's not pay attention to that. Jake, why would you put that matchup on the show yesterday and play those terrible ad campaigns between Bonesy and Chef Kevin? I mean, those were the most boringest things I ever seen in my life. It was 10-minute slideshows of them. Like, I understand that I sent ads and I had like some pictures in it, but at least mine had like good music and stuff. It's just Bonesy talking about, oh, this is Gary. Yeah, we know who Gary is. You don't got to tell us it's Gary in the picture. Bonesy is the worst caller ever. I'm sorry. I like Bonesy as a person.
Oh my God. You showed violence today.
No, you know why? Because I just don't understand what he's talking about. He's like, he's loyal. He kept saying he's loyal. Who are you loyal to? You're loyal to Joe Douglas or you're loyal to the Jets? Joe Douglas ruined the Jets. So how are you more loyal to Joe Douglas than you are to the Jets? That don't make any sense. But the thing is, and I voted for Chef Kevin, but I'm glad Chef Kevin lost because then I would have to look at that slideshow again, which the worst music ever. He couldn't put like any other song. He put like slow music. I don't know. I don't even know what the name of that song was. It's probably like.
Are you acting like your campaign videos were so great?
I'm not acting like they were great, but at least they were entertaining to me, at least.
Black Gypsy just called you the worst caller ever.
I don't care what Black Gypsy says. Great. I could be the worst caller ever. That doesn't negate the fact that Bonesy's 10-minute slideshow of him with pictures and Gary was pointless. Hey, this is me at my job with Gator, and Gator's a cool guy. This is me with Gary with braids, and now Gary doesn't have braids, and now this is me with Nate. And then Chef Kevin's, it was just like rain music in the background. I like Chef Kevin, so I voted for him. But I'm kind of glad he lost because that was a terrible ad. Like, at least spice it up or something. Put a video in there. I don't know. Last thing I want to talk about is, Jake, you got to stop with moving.
There's going to be a day
where Jake is gonna come on here talking about Robert Sala, and he's gonna say the same thing. He stinks. Stop defending him.
You're the best. Ladies and gentlemen, negative caller JJ in person here on the show.
You guys think that I'm just a negative caller, but I support this team. I'm at every home game, every away game, and even at training camps. Don't believe me? Ask DJ Reed.
But right now, we out here. Hold up, you know what time it is.
Even Ryan Fitzpatrick thinks I should win. He gave me a candy cane.
He gave me a candy cane. Oh, JJ, I got a candy cane.
No matter what our record is, no matter what the weather's like, JJ's still at the games, rooting on his team.
He's back. You can say what you want, but
I thought it was good. I thought it was very good.
That's better than, oh, this is Gary without braids. This is Gary with braids. Like, what are we doing? Last point though that I wanted to make. You got to stop with moving Elijah Vera Tucker to right tackle. Can we please stop? We drafted him to be a left guard, and then we replaced him with a terrible left guard, and then now we have John Simpson at left guard, and we got him at right guard, and then you want to move him to right tackle. He played right tackle twice. He got injured twice.
Not because he was a tackle though. He got injured at guard last year. He got injured at left guard his rookie year.
His rookie year, he got injured in the preseason, but he played every single game at left guard, if I'm not mistaken. He got injured in the preseason, but he still played every game at left guard. When he played right guard, he didn't miss time, but he missed time every time he plays right tackle. So I don't know. I'm not the biggest fan of that idea. Just let the guy play what position he was drafted to play. He's drafted to be a guard, left guard at that, but let him be a right guard. And at the very least, it makes no sense to move him to right tackle just so we can draft a right guard. Like,
no, not to take a right guard at 7, to give you flexibility to not have to worry about feeling like you need to use a premium pick at a right tackle when you might have a really good right tackle on your team already.
Right tackle is not a premium position. Left tackle is a premium position on the line.
It's still a very important position on your offensive line. That's why people want them to. So you want them to use a top 7 pick on an offensive tackle?
No, I want them to use their top 7 pick on Tyler Warren. And then,
well, we agree there. Yeah, but this to me gives the Jets more flexibility to do what you and I want them to ultimately do. Like, I think they're going to take a tackle. I don't think they're going to take.
But at what cost, Jake? If it's at the detriment of Elijah Vera Tucker, just let him play one.
I don't think it's at the detriment. I think he's a good right tackle. I think he could play the position at a high level.
Why did he have 2 season-ending injuries?
Because they're fluky injuries. He got hurt last year at right guard. What does that have to do with anything?
No, what do you mean at right guard? How many games did he miss at right guard? Not the whole season.
He played in. He missed 2 games last year. Well, he got hurt, and then missed 2 games after that. So
versus the whole season. I don't know. We'll agree to disagree. I think you just leave the guy where he's at, and let's not play that Russian roulette with maybe he can be. He could be a Hall of Fame right guard. Just leave him at right guard. Like, I think his upside is at guard. Let him play the position 2 years in a row. We have to have some type of consistency. We can't just keep playing musical chairs at line. We leave him there. We still have our center. We still have our left guard. We still have our left tackle. The only position is right tackle. We don't need the right tackle position to be a 7th round pick. We can get somebody in the 2nd round and put him at right tackle. It doesn't have to be like, we don't have to waste that spot. But I digress. Anyways, guys, going forward, if you're gonna send in any ads, send them to me first. I'll give you any advice that I can, because that killed me yesterday. Peace, everyone.
How'd your advice work? You got eliminated.
Yeah, but I picked Big Fella to beat me. And if you look at my bracket, you can see everyone's bracket, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, go look at my bracket. I picked Big Fella to beat me. So it's not like I was surprised that he won.
What do you have today? Do you have Big Fella taking down Gorman?
Well, here's the thing, right? My problem with this ASMANIAC Madness is that we're not voting based off of real criteria. We're just picking who's the hot hand at the time.
No, that's not true. How did Beast get eliminated? If we were picking who the hot hand was, or Mikey Midnight get eliminated. Bobby and Mikey each got eliminated.
Exactly. You're proving my point. You're actually proving my point. No one likes Beastbreaker. That's why he didn't get any votes. No one likes him. Like, you like him, and he's a moneymaker for you.
What about Bobby and Mikey Midnight?
Exactly. Neither of them should have gotten eliminated. You're proving my point. How is Bobby Midnight's not still in the tournament? He's one of the best callers that we have.
Because Jay Quest beat him, because Jay Quest got the votes.
Yeah, Jay Quest. If Jay Quest stopped calling this show today, no one would bat an eye. If Bobby stops calling this show, we have to go on the Bobby Midnight show and see what's going on. Like Bobby Midnight is a legend in his own right, and we're gonna act like Jay Quest is a better caller than Bobby Midnight. It's a fluke. So sometimes they vote with their head, and then sometimes they want to see upsets. I get it, whatever, but there's no reason Bobby Midnight is not still in this tournament.
Shan just made the best point. If it was about the hot hand, you wouldn't have beaten June in the first place. You won because you're a Jet fan and an OG caller into the show.
I won because June is that bad. That's why I won. Let's be honest. June is
how is June bad? You're going after everyone today.
If June was a better caller, he would have beat me. He's a terrible caller. He calls in, he yells. We don't know what he's talking about.
How is he a terrible caller?
Because he is. The people voted. They voted for me over him, and no one likes me. So if you guys voted,
people do like you because you're entertaining.
I digress. The point is, Bobby Midnight should not have been eliminated. I could go down the list. There's so many people.
What do you mean? People could vote for who they want to vote for. It's based on who you, as a listener of the show, enjoy. Whatever. We don't need to define how people are voting. It's not sports where there's a scoreboard. The scoreboard is people voting. It's like people vote in American elections. They vote for their own personal reason. It's not like you have if you're voting for a candidate for president, it's only based on their economic policy. No, it's on however you want to vote for someone. That's the same thing with this.
So I'll ask you this. Do you think that Jay Quest is a better caller, a more entertaining caller than, in your opinion, I just want to know your opinion, than Bobby Midnight?
They have different type of calls. Bobby Midnight. No. Let me explain. Bobby Midnight is a volume caller. He's there. He's consistent. Jay Quest doesn't call every day, but when he does, they are often memorable, including several calls to prank radio stations and funny videos that he sends in. He's very funny.
He is funny, but he's not on the level of entertaining as Bobby Midnight. Every time Bobby Midnight calls in, he gives you a clip that you can play.
And that's why he was a 1 seed. But people voted for Jay Quest because he got hot. He's also well liked.
They just didn't want to see Bobby win. That's all it is.
And what about Mikey? Why wouldn't people want to see Mikey win? Because everyone loves Mikey when he calls in. And he's a real Jet fan.
Everyone loves Mikey, but at the same time, they were hating on the Midnight Brothers. It was like they both got to go. I don't know. Whatever. It is what it is.
No, I think that Mikey lost because Ricky NY is an OG Jet caller like yourself.
Well, I picked the big fella to beat me. I also picked Charles Gorman to beat the big fella. So we'll see if that works out. But I knew I was going to lose to the big fella. I did everything I could. I went out there. I campaigned hard, but the big fella is the big fella. What can I do? People call me a hater. I'm not a hater. I want the big fella to win because it's better if you
did hate on June.
June is a terrible caller.
Ladies and gentlemen, sports fans of all ages, welcome to the event of the year, the moment you've all been waiting for. This is the ASMANIAC Rumble.
Hi, June. How are you doing? Let everybody lower your volume because he's about to yell. Just lower your volume now. Oh, he's muted. Thank God. God is so good. He's muted. He's muted. Could you believe it? He don't even know how to work his computer. You got to press on mute, buddy. We can't hear you. We still can't. We can't.
So JJ.
There we go. Lower your mic. Lower your mic.
I was with you. I thought this was a great call on your behalf today, but to call me a terrible caller, somebody who brought you out of retirement, is asinine. Come on, brother. You enjoy my call. Come on, man. Give me some love, man. Come on, JJ.
I don't. I'm not gonna.
I'm a bad caller.
Yes,
I'm a bad caller.
Terrible.
Listen, if you want to talk intellectually, if you want edutainment, I bring it all. So I don't know what you're talking about. And to think about this, I brought you out of retirement. You fake retired, brought you out of retirement, and then you lost the very next round. You lost to a dude who lays on the couch, who lays on the bed.
If you would have did your job, I should have lost.
On the bed, who has no energy. Come on, man, stop it.
What'd you say?
You lost to a dude who lays on the bed and has no energy, and you talk about back corners.
Hey, I put up a fight against the big
stuttering. You're stuttering.
I put up a fight against the big fella. If you would have faced the big fella, you would have lost 100 to zip. Nobody would have. Everybody right now, put in the chat if you want to hear, if you like June's calls. Put a number 1 in the chat if you like June's calls. Put a 0 in the chat if you never want him to call again.
Listen, but check this out. I'm a new caller.
Yeah,
I get my respect.
Okay.
I make good valid points. I love the New York Jets, and I can't let anybody define how I feel about the New York Jets because I'm a core regardless. I got my own channel.
Got a lot of ones. People like you. I was wrong.
I know they do. You want to know why?
I like you.
Because I'm a good dude. And you're going to find out the 24th when we hanging out. You're going to say, I love you, bro. You're one of my favorites. You're going to see.
At the very end of the day, I want everybody who put a 1 to now go to June the GM's channel and subscribe to his show. He has a really good show. Go subscribe to his show. Everyone who put a 1.
Now, JJ, I do want to put this out here today to you. I was actually thinking it would be dope if you came up on my joint every other week for the JJ show. You know what I'm saying? The June and JJ show. I'm putting that out there. I think we might have a little chemistry that we can do some work. That's what I'm thinking. See, I'm thinking ahead. I got some vision.
All right, man. You put me on the spot here.
There you go. You see? I'm about business at the end of the day, my man. That's what I do for a living. I sell sneakers. So I'm trying to sell you this vision.
Everybody, Jimbo said put a thumbs down if you think I'm a bozo. So come on, let's go. Put a thumbs down if you think I'm a bozo.
Ladies and gentlemen, sports fans of all ages, welcome to the event of the year, the moment you've all been waiting for. This is the ASMANIAC Rumble.
Bobby!
AJ, thank you for sticking up for me. You're awesome. June, you're a horrible caller. Oh, I'm June from the hood. I'm scary. Oh, look at me. I'm from the hood. I'm from the Bronx, too. I'm from the hood.
You ain't from the Bronx, Bobby. I'm sorry.
What? I was born in your. I was born in the Bronx, you asshole.
Every day, you definitely ain't from the Bronx, Bobby.
I am so dickwad. I was born in the Bronx, dumbass.
Dickwad.
Yeah, you are a dickwad.
Bobby, be nice.
Bobby, did you finally get a job?
Bobby,
yeah, I'm gonna get a job hopefully
tomorrow. No, you're gonna, but did you get the job yet?
No, she's gonna.
Okay, it's always a no. I noticed with you. It's always a no.
Okay,
You
I'm from the hood.
You almost always get a job, Bobby. You almost.
And you always make fun of my friends too. You made fun of Ted from Florida. You did so. I heard about that.
Yep. Tell him, Bobby.
You call up to Boy B's show because somebody bit your style of show. Bobby, stop.
You make fun of my friend Ted. You're not gonna get away with that.
Bobby,
yeah. This is you. That's all you do is run your goddamn mouth.
Then I work for you with Bobby.
I'm from the Bronx.
Bobby. Go ahead. I hope you do get a job, Bobby. You need one. Everybody needs a job, Bobby. Everybody needs to know how to
shut your pie hole up once in a while.
What did you say?
You need to shut your pie hole up once in a while too.
Ooh.
Yeah. Oh, we're gonna meet at the draft party. We'll see how you go.
Ooh, Bobby, for real?
Yeah, we're gonna. I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna be there.
Bobby. Stop.
No, I'm from the Bronx. How you know I'm not from the Bronx?
Where in the Bronx you from, Bobby?
I lived on 233rd Street at Pittman Avenue. Dumbass.
Ooh.
Where are you from the hood? Where are you from the hood?
I'm from 170th Webster Avenue.
Oh, Webster Avenue.
Yeah. Shut up.
Ladies and gentlemen, sports fans of all ages, welcome to the event of the year, the moment you've all been waiting for. This is the ASMANIAC Rumble.
Oh my God! Hang up! Hang up now, please! I can't take it.
JJ, I can't even believe I put your scrawny, ugly ass in my video. I probably should have left your ass out of that shit. But for you to come at me saying that video sucked and that my calls suck and I'm the worst caller, I mean, dog, come on, bro. Do you remember? Do we have to play that bricked up video? You making fun of me about Joe Douglas. Do you remember yourself during that bricked up video?
Yeah, I saw Jeff brick.
Hold on, JJ. You said we were going to the Super Bowl because Salah got fired, just like you saying we're going to the Super Bowl with Fields. Do you remember that bricked up video?
I didn't say we're going to the Super Bowl with Fields. I said we're going to the playoffs. Okay, that's number one. Number two, yes, I was excited that we have a new head coach in Jeff Ulbrich, and I was being a supporter of my team, and I was trying to get everybody pumped up. Now, when it turned out and the facts were presented to me that Ulbrich was just as bad as Salah, I jumped off the ship. The problem that you have is you want to die on the ship that Joe Douglas is a good GM. Where is he working now?
Listen,
what team does he work for now?
He will be with a good organization.
No.
The Ravens.
If he was so good, where is he now?
He's going to be with the Ravens or the Eagles. He'll be player personnel. Don't worry, bro.
Why
He's
hasn't he
getting
got
the job.
hired yet? Why is he haven't gotten hired
It's
yet?
coming.
He got hired in the
It's
middle of the season. It's been
Listen,
weeks.
dog.
Robert
Listen.
Saleh got a job ASAP. So why Joe
Bro,
Douglas hasn't got a
look,
job?
The only thing this is the last time I'm addressing Joe Douglas. I'm a faithful guy when it comes to you guys act like he was the worst GM ever and he did nothing for us. If Aaron Rodgers didn't get hurt, we would all be sucking him off. So I don't want to hear it. Shit happens.
Aaron Rodgers didn't get hurt last year. He played every game last year, and we weren't sucking him off. So what are you talking about? That logic is idiotic. If that's the case,
what did Joe Douglas do in the first round?
Did Aaron
He went
Rodgers
6 for 8, bro.
Did Aaron Rodgers
When's the
play
last time we hit a first-round draft pick besides what Joe Douglas did?
No. Stick with the point that you just said. Stick with the point.
JJ, I can't believe.
Hold on. Can I ask a
you're
question?
talking about my video over your video, and then you're making this guy talk about Joe Douglas again. Now all I do is hear about him, and you're bringing up Joe Douglas again.
Let me ask you guys a question. Did Aaron Rodgers play every game last year? True or false?
Yes, he did. How many?
Okay,
How many did he play injured?
If you were gonna say that if Aaron Rodgers didn't get hurt the year prior, we would be sucking JD off. Why didn't we suck JD off this year? If Aaron Rodgers played every game this year, which you're
because we fired our coach. How many games into the season, and it was a shit show. It was a failure.
What was the record?
JJ, whose record?
We
Rodgers'
got blown
record?
out the game 1 against San Francisco. We looked like a terrible football team against
JJ.
Tennessee. We look
If
terrible.
we play the Steelers week 1 and they have Aaron Rodgers as their quarterback, I will bet you $1,000 we lose that game. You're taking the Jets over the Steelers, right?
How? Yeah. Okay. You're crazy.
Oh, so Rodgers is going to be washed on the Steelers, right?
Yes, he is going to be washed. I guarantee you, we play the Steelers
Bookmark
week
it.
1 and Aaron Rodgers is
Bookmark
over
it.
there. We'll bust their ass because I'm a Jets fan.
Bookmark
I will never bet $1,000 against my team. Stop it, Bonesy. You're crazy.
I'm just saying, bro. I'm just saying. You act like I'm not like a diehard Jets fan. You making fun of my video? That's amazing.
Diehard Joe Douglas fan too. That's the problem. You got to.
You called out the music in the video, and did you hear your little lollygiggy music with your fruitcake sweatshirt you had on?
Now he's
come on, dog. He's making fun of me. Did you see that Jets wedding cake, bro? Hold on.
I was happy
Did you see that Jets
Ryan
wedding cake?
Patrick gave me a candy cane. I'm a fruitcake because fucking DJ Reed said we out here 4's up. I'm a fruitcake because I love my team. I'm sorry that I didn't have.
Listen, did you see my Jets wedding cake?
Joe Douglas in the video, you would have loved it.
Did you see my Jets wedding cake? What you guys say? If you seen that before ever,
Bonesy,
you ever seen a Jets wedding cake?
You know the sad thing about all this is I really do actually like you. You're a really good guy. I like you. I just hate the fact that you support Joe Douglas more than you support the Jets. That's my only problem with you.
Come on, dog. You know that's false, bro. I support Joe Douglas. All I say about Joe Douglas is people act like he's the worst GM we've ever had, and that's just like, all right, fellas, come on. He gave us he convinced Aaron Rodgers to come to our shit franchise and give it a shot.
No other options. Nobody else wanted him.
Okay. He's also given us players to build around like Jermaine Johnson and Garrett Wilson and Sauce Gardner and Michael Carter II and Damian Sherwood, who we just re-signed. Okay. And he hits on picks. We haven't done that in years.
So who is more to blame for us, failing over the last couple of years? Joe Douglas or Robert Saleh?
100% Saleh.
Okay. And if you say that, why?
Because coaching was terrible. He was everybody's friend.
But you guys say we didn't give it. You guys say on one hand, JD didn't give him a quarterback, and on the other hand, the coaching was terrible. So which one is it? Which one is it?
What do you think? What do you think?
Which one is it?
I'm asking you. What do you think?
I think they both suck. That's what I think.
All right, but at least Joe Douglas gave us some talent. If you listen to Aaron Glenn, what does he say about this team? That we got talent on the roster. And how'd that shit get there, bro?
The talent that he gave us were all first-round picks. Name me a third-round pick that's talented on this team. A second round.
All right, I can't say third round because JD did miss in the third round. But I could go first, second, and fourth, fifth, sixth.
Besides my friend DJ Reed, give me a free agent signing that he made that was good.
I don't know if free agency was his best, but he had nice waiver pickups like Quincy. He had nice waiver picks like JFM. He had signed players like Bryce Huff that came after the draft that was signed off the street that turned into getting paid as a top 5 player. It's just listen.
Bonesy, do this. This is all I need from you to do. 2 things. Number 1, the next campaign video you do, just put some music behind it and spice it up a little bit.
This was my brother.
And number 2, Just no more Joe Douglas. That's it. No more Joe Douglas.
I am moved on. Listen, the only reason why I talk about Joe Douglas is people want to get me going because I defend him in not being the worst GM in Jets history. Yes, he sucked. He didn't get us a quarterback when Aaron Rodgers went down.
Does have the worst winning percentage in Jets GM history, though. But I don't know.
But bro, when you have to build the team, you cannot do it through free agency. You have to do it through the draft. And we've never had a GM who can actually consistently draft talent that can be developed. And that's what Joe Douglas did.
Who's a better caller, Jay Quest or Bobby Midnight?
I mean, yeah, that's another thing. How are you shitting on Jay Quest?
I'm not shitting on him. He's a good guy. I like the guy, but
Jay
he's not
Quest
a better caller than Bobby. He's not a better caller than Bobby. You just seen Bobby get on here and tell us that he's from the Bronx and he's standing on business against June. Bobby's a great caller.
Bobby calls more, but Jay Quest makes you laugh more.
No, every time Bobby gets on the channel, he has something good to say. Come on.
Yo, Jay Quest is an OG, man.
He
You
is
can't
an
be talking
OG.
shit about Jay Quest.
Why is it if you pick one or the other, you're shitting on one of them? I'm not shitting on Jay Quest. I'm just saying he's not as good of a caller as Bobby.
If Jay Quest never called again and just vanished, nobody would miss him, dog.
I said
what
no.
Are you talking
That's
about?
not what I said. I said if Jay Quest stopped calling, no one would bat an eye.
No one would bat an eye. Yeah, that's a crock of shit, bro. You don't even believe your own comedy. You said you were retired and then you made a campaign video and you won because you're a fucking OG. You are an OG. You've been chilling with us for how many years? I've hugged you at meetups. Why are you coming at your own people like that? This is our family, bro.
You know what it is?
We're a family. We're a Jets family that Jay created, and you calling us people out, attacking people for no reason. I mean, come on, dog.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
I put you in my video, man. I put you in my video. You're supposed to be my homie.
I am your homie.
I
I told you, that's the only reason. I just get upset because yesterday you were going on the JD tangent and it fired something up in me. I woke up today. I was on the wrong side of the bed. I apologize to everyone. I still think Bobby's one of the greatest callers. Bonesy, I still love you. I think you do need to add some music to your video. Chef Kevin, I'm sorry that you lost. Bonesy, go all the way. Yeah. All right. Everyone have a good day. Thank you, Dave.
Ladies and gentlemen, sports fans of all ages, welcome to the event of the year, the moment you've all been waiting for. This is the ASMANIAC Rumble.
Oh, it's you again. Yeah, I am from the Bronx.
Hey, guess what?
Where do you think? How you know I'm not from the Bronx?
Hey, Bobby, can I say something?
No.
I actually can't argue with you because I do enjoy your cause, so I'm not your enemy. You don't have to like my cause.
Well, you picked on one of my friends. You picked on one of my friends, Ted from Florida. Do you remember that?
Hey, Bobby.
What?
One thing you should learn about being from the Bronx, you don't put your nose in other people's business. So you shouldn't concern yourself if I treat anybody else.
Well, my friend Ted, I have my friend Ted.
Remember how I treat you, because you see, being nosy and putting your stuff in other people's business gets you hurt in life.
Well,
you around still.
Yeah,
okay,
you,
so you gotta
yeah.
You can't be, trying to jump in and out of stuff. Concern yourself of how I treat you. If I treat you with respect, you should be treating me with respect. That's how.
All right, but you don't even believe I'm from the Bronx. You had to ask me what.
I didn't say that. I didn't. I said where you from.
You're such a freaking liar. You say you're not.
I see where you from. I did at the beginning, but you said where you were from. Much respect. You're from the Bronx too. I respect you, Bobby.
So don't tell me I'm not from the Bronx.
You're not from the Bronx now?
I am from the Bronx. I told you I.
Okay, so here's a serious question.
Then I moved to Queens.
All right, but here's a serious question. You from the Bronx? Who's your favorite baseball team?
The Yankees.
Okay, now you're talking. Now you're talking. So now let me ask you this: the new bats. You think there's an issue with those new bats we're using?
No. They brought that up at the game on the game.
They're legal. Okay, so listen, Bobby, man, it's all love, no issues with you, man. It's all good.
All right.
Only enemy I have is the devil, man. I love everybody, man.
Okay, we'll see you over. We'll see you at the drift.
You got it, Bobby. Hey, Jake, I do want to say something about yesterday's
Okay, I'll jump off. Okay, bye.
Mr. Asman.
mean, this all just escalated very quickly. I mean,
It-
JJ
it-
just got it all going there.
Entertainment, man. Hey, Jake. Yesterday during the interview, did you notice later on in the interview how Aaron Glenn had a laugh at Samini and then kind of rubbed his shoulder, like while they were laughing? It blew my mind. I said, did I just see that? So if you watch the whole interview, towards the latter end, I say the last 3-4 minutes of the interview, Samini says something to Glenn about how he responded to a comment, and Glenn laughed and grabbed Samini's shoulder and started rubbing it and laughing with him. I thought that was a cool moment. I think Glenn gave him a little pass.
I mean, they've known each other for 30 years. Samini covered him as a player. That's why it's like when he pushes back on any of Rich's questions, like, like Glenn has a relationship with the guy. Like, it's not personal. Glenn's doing his job. Samini got his job. That's all that is.
But also, if you notice, Samini always does kind of start a question from a negative perspective. He never really uplifts anything New York, although I know he's a Jet fan. Sometimes I wonder.
He's not a Jet fan.
He's not a Jet fan.
No, none of the guys on the beat are fans of the team. That's what I think a lot of Jet fans don't understand. Their job is to not be Jet fans. The people that cover the Jets in media that are fans of the team, that are on like the beat, are the people that are paid by the Jets. Like, you'll never hear Ethan Greenberg, Caroline Hendershot, Eric Allen, anyone that gets a check from Woody Johnson be critical of the team. They work for the team. It's all NFL teams employ their own people. If you go to Jets.com, you'll never hear anything negative or read anything negative about the team. They're only going to spin it positively. So, like, that's what I think a lot of fans don't understand. Like, Brian Costello, Connor Hughes, Andy Vasquez, Zach Rosenblatt, they're not Jet fans. They're not. Maybe they grew up Jet fans way back, but if you're on the beat, you can't be a fan. You got to remove bias. There's no cheering in the press box.
Right. It's a job. It's a job. You got to do your job.
Yeah, and look, sometimes beat writers can be more negative than positive. Like Nick Fari is not a Jet fan, but he's probably skews more positive than a lot of the other people that are on the beat. But like, I think that's what a lot of times fans don't understand. So like, I'm glad I could inform you of that, because now it will add some context to it.
Is it do we have to do people like Aaron Glenn have to answer specific questions, or can they do the Bill Belichick and just say next question? I don't even want to.
No, there's no work. You have to be made available if you're a coach in season. I think 3 times, and then after every game. But you don't. No one could force you to answer a question. Every coach could take a different approach how they want to handle their media answers.
Let me ask you a question. When you covered the Houston Texans, because you did for a couple of years, was it hard to find a passion to cover them, or did you just look at it as a job because you're a diehard Jet fan? How was that?
Well, so I was doing talk shows on them, right? So it's not like I had to be there every day and write articles and go to all the press conferences. I mean, I wasn't as passionate about it as I am about the Jets, but it was a job. Like, I still took it seriously. Like, I still could get fired up on certain things. It's still sports talk.
Okay, that's interesting stuff, man. So overall, would you say that you like the way Aaron Glenn's handling the media? I do. I think he's very direct. I think he's no nonsense, and I do think that sometimes they ask some stupid questions, man. They be asking some stupid stuff.
Oh, yeah, 100%. I think Aaron Glenn's been very good in these press conference settings. He should be the other one that speaks. Every time Woody Johnson opens up his mouth, it makes the situation worse.
And I do want to say something about your tournament, Jake. There's been a lot of upsets, a lot of surprising upsets. I can't believe Bobby got eliminated. I was surprised JJ lost to the big fella. Big fella's a good dude, but JJ's entertaining. I was very surprised at that.
People love men who lay on their bed, June. That's what you got to understand.
Yeah, I know. I noticed that. And I do think that it's going to be hard to beat Gorman, but if anybody can dethrone him in that region, it could be King Lowski, because King Lowski, to say that he was the first dude to bring energy means that some way, somehow, his inspiration matriculated down my way, because, I'm an energetic caller, and King Lowski is definitely one of my favorites. I can't lie. He's one of my favorites. And Lane Train, I still think is going to be the one to glide into the championship against either Gorman or King Lowski.
Yeah.
That's how I'm viewing things right now.
June, great takes, man. And for the record, despite what JJ says, I think you're an excellent caller, June. So please keep calling. Ladies and gentlemen, JJ went up and in on this guy earlier. He dethroned Bobby Midnight. Ladies and gentlemen, Jay Quest is on the line. Hello, Jay Quest.
Yo, what's up, Jake? How you doing?
I'm good, Jay Quest. Were you offended by JJ's comments?
No, but at the same time, I call this show because I'm a Jet fan, right? This is the Jake Asman show. We're just part of it. And personally, I think if Bobby tried to take over, and that's why I think he lost, right? Because I don't call every day. I work 70 hours a week. You know what I mean? I work a lot. And like I have a job, so I call when I can. So like, yes, Bobby has the volume, and Bobby's a great caller. And if he would have beat me, well deserved. But Bobby wasn't winning this tournament. I'm not going to win this tournament either. And I'm fine with that, dude. You know, like JJ's got to chill out, man. Like we're all, like Goldie says, we're all a family. And I respect that he chose Bobby over me, but you know, they voted like they voted. I had nothing to do with it. It's all good, man. Bobby wasn't going to win anyway. So it doesn't matter. Like, who cares? We're all winners, man. We're all Jet fans, minus a few, Bobby. But, you know, just like it is what it is, right? Like, I don't know, dude. It's just strange, the hate, you know?
Well, how about the fact he said that if you never called in again, no one would bat an eye? I think.
Yeah, I mean, but listen, people go away and the show moves on. Like, honestly. Like, Dirty hasn't called in a long time, really, that much. Like, the show moves on. If Bobby stopped calling, people would just, like, whatever, it moves on. You know, like, we're not, like, I'm not a YouTube star. I don't want to be a YouTube star. I'm not going to start my Jake Asman spin-off show. Yeah, I'm just a Jet fan calling a Jet YouTube holding laundry. So, like, it's like, you know, I don't get it, bro. Like, I don't know, dude.
Ladies and gentlemen, sports fans of all ages, welcome to the event of the year, the moment you've all been waiting for. This is the ASMANIAC Rumble.
Oh, Jay Quest, my guy. What's going on, man?
What's up, JJ? How you doing?
Listen, let me tell you something. Don't take anything I said personal, all right? My defense of Bobby and my passion for Bobby is just that, right? Anything I said negative towards you is just in support of Bobby. But at the end of the day, I'm just being real. Like, you're a good caller, but you know, Bobby brings something extra to the show. Look, he Mimosa, the great Mimosa, is now calls in and shows her face because of Bobby Midnight.
All right. Let me ask you this. If Bobby stopped calling, like, or he started calling once a month, would the show be affected, you think? Honestly.
I think, yeah, because what are we going to talk about? Let's be real. We don't have nothing to talk about as Jets fans. There ain't nothing going on for the past 3 years. We just lose and lose and lose. So you have to have characters like Bobby. He's an essential worker to the show. Bobby, Charles.
The show would move on, dude. I'm telling you. You go back 3 years, you know, however Jake's having callers, like people stop calling and it just moves on. I get Bobby's a big part of it. And I'm not saying Bobby's a bad caller because he's not. I love him. But at the same time, man, it's the Jake Asman show. It's not the Jake Quest show. It's not the Bobby.
Yeah, but the reason the Jake Asman show, and I think Jake would admit this, has grown to what it is because of the characters that call into the show that make the show great. V-Man was one of the godfathers, Mount Rushmore. When I first started watching the show and V-Man would call in, I would be like, what the heck is going on this show? I need to watch more of the show because the V-Mans, the King Lowskis.
Right.
Bobby comes in and he took over. He did what he had to do. Where did Jay Quest go? Oh, there you are. So it's nothing against you, man. It's nothing against you. Yeah. And I
lost the audio.
June the GM, you've grown on me today. I would like to be your friend. I want to end the beef. Me and June did. Oh, there he is. You grown on me today, man.
Hey, JJ, listen.
It's really your vocabulary, man. Like I want to hang out with you because you just throw out these words that I've never heard before. So just you and me and Jay Quest, are you coming to the event, the draft party?
I am, yes.
When I see you guys, I'm gonna get you a shot. I'm pointing at you right now, Jay Quest. I'm gonna get you a shot, June the GM. I'm too young to drink. I'm only 18, but I'm gonna get you guys a shot because you guys have grown on me today.
And listen, JJ, it's always been love, man. This is all for fun. Even when I'm going wild, going crazy, I think there's a lot of intellectual Jet fans that call up the show. I think Jake does a great job of managing all the different personalities on the show, and I'm excited about the 24th. I pray we all can celebrate together, and that we don't fumble the number 7 draft pick with something crazy.
I gotta, you know, and one of my OGs. He's a part of the 3 Asshole Nation with me, Alan. Alan just wants to see negativity all day, but sometimes, Alan, it feels good to make up and love on your fellow Jets fan, Alan. We don't got to be negative all the time. Like you, me, and Gary, we built a bad rap. People think that we're just these jerks who just want to be mad all the time. No, we're good guys, Alan. It's okay to smile a little bit. You know, we miss you, Alan. Call in and give us a smile, please.
I never saw an Alan calling. Oh, man. Gary's here in the house.
JJ's the GOAT. JJ's the best player on the show. The fact that he lost to Big Fella is a travesty. Give me one call that Big Fella's ever made that's been as entertaining or as controversial as this. Give me one. Just one call that's as memorable that Big Fella made ever.
When he called in on his bed.
When he called in from his bed and agree with Jake, yeah.
Well, JJ, you stopped calling hurt you, right? That's why I picked June to beat you. But if you had never left, I would have had you go first.
I had to leave. I couldn't take it anymore with this show. You had guys like Gator. Oh my God, can you guys stop rubbing it in that you were right about Joe Douglas and Salah? Gator always is crying. I don't know why Gator cries so much.
No, the best part of
everything
right
good that Gator brings to the show.
That's the only part of being right.
Right, Gary? When me and Gary come on the show and we say something stupid and people rub it in our face, oh, you guys are idiots, you don't know what you're talking about, we take it like men. But then when we do it, Gator starts crying, oh, kick him off the show, Jake. Get him out of here. Get him out of here. Gator, come on, man up. Stop it. And look. I know his fingers are going right now. Come on, Gator. Come on.
Guys, let me ask you a question. Bobby says he's from the Bronx, okay? So I was born in Brooklyn, New York, Victory Memorial Hospital, okay? I lived until I was 6. When I tell people, I don't tell people I'm from Brooklyn. I say I'm from Long Island because that's where I grew up most of my life. When did Bobby move out of the Bronx? I'm just curious. Because, like, when is that, like...
When he was 63 years old.
No, dude. He was, like, young, man. He was young. You can't say you're from the Bronx.
I would never say I'm from Brooklyn. I was born in Brooklyn. I lived there till I was 2. I don't remember it. Then I moved to Long Island.
I think the prerequisite of being from somewhere is like, I think you have to rep the hospital. I'm from Bronx Lebanon Hospital that actually closed down in the hood. And I left there around in my 20s. So I'm from the Bronx, New York.
You're from the Bronx.
Listen, but it's all about where you have your first kiss. And Bobby had his first kiss in the Bronx.
Where's Bobby? Get him on. I'm curious now.
Bobby had his first. Bobby has a kid. Where do you think he? What do you call it? Conceived?
No, he lived in Glen Oaks, man, Queens. He wasn't at the Bronx at the time.
Well, I don't know. I mean,
and Queens. If anybody know anything about New York, and I'm sure you know, Quest, Queens has always been the nice part of New York. Queens is nice, but everybody had a little bit more money in Queens.
Yeah, Queens get the money. That's where I'm from, baby.
That's real. That's real. You know, I had no money growing up.
All right, guys, I gotta scrub the toilet. I'll see you guys later.
All right, man. Peace. So, at the end of the day, the moral of the story today is everyone go out there, vote for Gary. Gary should be hands down the favorite to win this whole thing. Stop voting for people that you guys like. One Punch Brigger. One Punch Brigger thinks that the moon landing was real. Great. Who cares? He believes in achievement. Great. Who cares? Gary believes that gas station pizza is good. He believes that chicken doesn't go on pasta. Come on, Gary. Talk your talk, baby.
I'm giving the show a lot. Like, along with JJ, we've given the show probably more sound bites and more conversation. We've moved the conversation more than anyone on the show. I really
more than anyone on the show, Gary, you think?
Who else is going to give you moon landing takes, nutrition takes, chicken and pasta takes, Brock Bowers I gave you plenty of football takes. I told you Caleb Williams is dog water.
Gary, sorry to interrupt. So Gator said that if I go to war with him, I'm going to lose because he's probably going to make some stupid video about me. Oh, nobody cares, Gator. You're still a crybaby. Look at you crying right now. Look at you. Your new intro is going to be epic display of your douchebag. The thing about me is I don't care. So stop crying, Gary. I'm sorry, not Gary. See, I was looking at you, Gator. Bonesy, what's up?
I can't believe you're attacking Gator, bro.
Why
now
not?
You've gone too far. Now you've gone too far.
Why?
Like, come on. You can't.
Why is Gator off limits?
Why is Gator off limits? Because Gator is a comedy genius who is like the most important part of this show. Besides Jake, it's Gator.
Hold on. You know why Gator is a comedy genius? Because Gator's a joke. He's a joke. That's why.
Bro, I can't, dude, listen, I cannot wait. I cannot wait to see what Gator does to you. I can't wait. This is the best part of the show. This is the best part of the show. Gator is going to kill you. I can't wait. I can't wait.
I think I proved to everybody. I can make videos just as good as Gator. So
And Bonesy, one thing.
For those of you who didn't know, a few months back, I had announced my retirement from the Big Asman Show. But after today's victory, I have a huge announcement to make. The fans have spoken. I'm coming out of retirement.
The great
I'm back. Big fella, I'll see you in the next round. May the best man win.
I'm very excited. What?
Joe Douglas is the worst GM ever. Like, just don't pretend that he's
Listen,
not.
Gary, listen. This is the last time I'm going to address Joe Douglas.
Joe Douglas should have been fired 2 days before he was hired.
This is it. I don't want to talk about it anymore. If you guys, right, can't say that Joe Douglas is the best GM we've had in what, like how many years? 20 years? Or I guess you want to argue Tannenbaum. Sure. Fine. 15 years. Then we just agree to disagree. I am the biggest Aaron Rodgers fan out there. I loved him throughout his whole career. The fact that he was on our team for 2 years and blessed us with his greatness, and it didn't work out, and I still love Rodgers, and I still love Joe Douglas for trying, because it was a Achilles tear that ruined us. If you're going to tell me that you don't build a franchise through the draft and it's through free agency, you're lying to yourself. Let's, as a group, go. Hold on, Gary. So let's go look at the 2024.
And signed a 40-year-old quarterback no one else wanted.
Gary, you're wrong.
These are not brilliant things.
Gary, you're wrong. Joe Douglas is the greatest GM.
He's not. If you guys listen, you guys are comparing us always to like the Chiefs, the Eagles, and the Ravens in terms of GM. If you go look at like last year's free agency class, it was terrible. What are the big signings that weren't with players like Deion Dawkins, who re-signed back with his own team, or Jalen Waddle, who got an extension? Hold on. If you can't build your team through the draft, you don't have a chance. If you can't hit on first-round picks at least 50% of the time.
When did he hit on first-round picks? When did he hit on
so let's go. Let's go through all the Joe Douglas drafts of the other teams.
Everyone goes crazy. That's what you're doing with Joe Douglas.
You do want to do that, JJ. You do want to do that.
Like, yeah, he got Garrett Wilson because he picked Garrett Wilson 10th. He got Sauce Gardner because he picked him 3rd. Yeah,
these are the second guys at their position drafted. Drake London was in front of Garrett. Drake London was in front of Garrett, and Stingley was in front of Sauce.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly. So who do you think Joe Douglas? Wait a minute.
Who's better? Who would you rather have? Sauce or Stingley or Garrett or Drake London?
If we had Drake London and Stingley right now, you think that it would be that huge of a difference of our team? We still suck.
Garrett Wilson's a much better wide receiver than Drake London.
Still suck.
How many more games would he have won? But he couldn't have taken Drake. Drake was already off the board when he picked Garrett Wilson.
I'm just saying that a different team got it wrong. And if you go look back at the drafts,
the Falcons regret picking Drake London. I don't think they regret it. You think Houston regrets Stingley? They just signed him to a contract.
I mean, Stingley had a third good year, yeah. So I guess that worked out, right?
What's your point?
My point is, if you go back and look at the drafts that we were in, go look at the other teams. Forget what we did, and just go back. I'm saying go back to the Becton draft or any of the drafts, and you could take like 4 guys.
We also could have had guys in the past like Jordan Addison, and the list goes on and on. I can do the same thing about guys.
But you could always pinpoint stars that other teams picked and be like, why didn't we pick that guy? All I'm saying is that you guys are always comparing us to other teams that are great. And you shouldn't be doing that. That's like me being like, man, I've been getting 6. Hold on.
That's great. You should be comparing them to the
who should I compare us to? Who should I compare us to? The Bucks?
Listen, JJ, if you've been dating 6s, hold on, JJ, listen to this. If you've been dating 6s and 7s your whole life, right? You're not going to go look at the guy with the 6-pack and be like, man, I should be dating 10s. No, you motherfucker, you don't have a 6-pack. You've been fucking with 6s and 7s your whole life. So you're going to be still dealing with, you're trying to beat a 6 or a 7. I'm comparing Joe Douglas to what I've seen in my course of a Jet fan, and he's been much, much better than we've had in terms of drafting talent and evaluating talent and making trades and working the draft board during the drafts.
Instead of comparing Joe Douglas to the top-notch GMs in the league because that's what we want from him.
I'm not comparing him to top-notch GMs in the league. We're not a top-notch franchise. We don't have a top-notch owner. Stop comparing us to the best. Why are you always comparing us to the best? We suck.
Hang on. Were the Chiefs a top-notch franchise before they got Andy Reid? Were they a top-notch franchise then? No, they weren't. They were the Jets.
Black Gypsy, I love you, baby. You can call me all the names you want, but I still love you, Black Gypsy.
But that's a coach that came in, Gary.
You become a top-notch franchise.
But you guys only compare us to the Ravens, the Eagles, and the Chiefs.
We want to be one day. We want to be the Ravens, the Eagles, and the Chiefs.
Those are the top teams in the NFL.
Because they all made the playoffs at least once. We're literally the worst team in football.
Exactly.
We're the worst because of Joe Douglas. But then you want to defend.
We're the worst because of Joe Douglas.
He's the one that cooked the meal. There's no one else. There's no one else to blame.
The roster has talent.
Awesome.
And now we brought in a real coach. So let's see what happens, right?
Yeah, because Joe Douglas is gone.
Because we have a talented roster, though.
Bonesy, stop.
Who cares? Who cares if there's a talent?
Because you just said that we shouldn't compare ourselves to the top-notch people in the league, and that's
not yet. Not until we can make the fucking playoffs, at least.
Because when you look at all these teams, right, and you look at their turnarounds, right, the Ravens went from Joe Flacco to Lamar Jackson. They didn't have a long overhaul of sucky season after sucky season after sucky season. Same thing with the Eagles. The Eagles had to rebuild. They had Carson Wentz. They went to the Super Bowl, won with Nick Foles. The next year, all this stuff is going on. What do? They draft Jalen Hurts. Everybody thought that was stupid. Idiotic. They go out there, they get AJ Brown, they get Saquon Barkley. They've been to the Super Bowl twice. People want Nick Sirianni fired every year. He's been to the Super Bowl twice. He's won one. And you're going to tell me I shouldn't compare my team to the top-notch teams in the
league? We're a joke, man. That's like dating a 6 and then seeing the guy with the 10 and being like, man, I should have that. No, you shouldn't. You don't got a 6-pack, bro. You don't look like that guy, I guess, right? You can't
do. You should go to the gym and get money. This is what I tell Charles. If you want a 10, go do all the things besides women. Go get yourself money. Go get yourself like some game. Go get
Gary, if it was that easy, I think we would all do it.
Oh, my bad, everybody.
It is
Gary, if it was that easy, if every NFL team
hard work.
And
hard. I agree.
Jake will try to make us believe that, Houston and we could blah blah blah. They got the quarterback right, all that stuff. Houston was a sucky team. They got the right head coach. They got the right quarterback. They look good. They've been to the playoffs 2 years in a row. We can do the same thing. They didn't need year after year after year of overhaul. They fired the first head coach that they had because they realized, this isn't our guy. I think, was it David Culley first? And then the next, who was after David Culley? I'm getting my timeline wrong. Jake, you know better than me. But they had a head coach. He didn't win enough games. They didn't believe in him. They fired him. They got a new head coach. They didn't believe in him. They fired him too. Then they hired DeMeco Ryans. They got the right quarterback, and now look at them. They've turned a new leaf. They're going out there. They're winning playoff football games. The Jets, we got to hold the Jets at the same standards. That's why we lasted so many years with Joe Douglas and Saleh, is because you guys were like, oh my God, look at the situation that he took over. He had a developmental team when he first got here. Oh my God, with the development.
JJ, we haven't hit on a first-round pick besides Quinnen Williams in how many years, bro? We were terrible. Forget second day or third day. We couldn't hit on a first-round pick that he could even make an impact on the field. I'm talking the Darren Lees and the D. Milners and at least Rex tried for Kyle Wilson, but Quentin Coples and Calvin Pryor and all these scrubs. At least Joe Douglas could work the board. He could draft talent. He trades up for players all the time. He traded up for JJ. That was a great trade up. He traded up for Brees. That was a great trade up. You heard what Aaron Glenn just said about Allen and Davis, 2 day 3 running backs that are going to help our team. Joe Douglas could draft talent. And yes, he was bad in free agency, and he didn't give us a kicker, and he didn't sign another quarterback. I know he sucks at things.
Let me push it on this. What is the GM's job? To build a consistent winning team that can win 1 year now, 3 years from now.
And he didn't.
Hang on. Let me ask my question.
Bonesy.
What's the job of a GM? To build a team that can win 1 year from now, 3 years from now, and 5 years from now, or to draft talent? What's his job?
Hold on, Gary. How do you build a team?
I asked you a question.
How do you build a winning team?
I'll answer you.
Bonesy, can I ask you a question? What time you leaving work today? What you want for lunch, man? Because I'm gonna buy you some lunch because you going through it today. You hungry? I'm gonna get you something to eat today because
Listen, baby. Listen, JJ.
No, I'm serious.
You attacked me and my family, so I'm gonna defend
I
it.
didn't
I'm
attack
sorry.
your family. I love you.
Yes,
and I
you
love
did.
you.
But
I
as
attacked that-
maniacs, we are a family, bro. And if you're
Who
gonna
did
come
I
at
attack?
JJ, you're coming at our second King Tulowski in Gator. Gator, I still can't wait. I can't wait.
Hold on. Gator brings a lot of value to the show. He's still a
He
crybaby.
brings everything to the show, bro. Anybody, name anyone in this tournament that Gator hasn't influenced how he's doing besides Jake West.
Yeah,
well, I guess the big fella's been doing great, but Brigga and the Beastmaker and all our guys, all our first rounders, Bobby and Charles and Gary. Gary's great, but how much
None.
Gator's made
Zero.
Gary
Gary does not need anything from Gator. All Gator does is insult Gary's intelligence. I mean,
oh, come on, man.
That's all he does. Every video
Dude.
he makes about Gary is making a mockery of Gary. Gary made a very stallion point that Brock Bowers was going to be.
Did somebody say Brock Bowers?
Case in point.
Yo, man, I can't wait for what Gator's going to come
Case in
out with,
point.
man. You attacking Gator is like pushing the line for me, bro. That's my dog. So, I mean, I don't know what else to say.
You know what's crazy, Bonesy? Gator says a whole bunch of crazy stuff about me in the chat. It's fine. But when I say something back, oh my God, you can't talk about Gator like this. You can't. Why? He's a grown man. He's a grown man. He's a 50, 60. I don't know how old he is. He
is a grown man.
Yeah.
And I can't wait for what he's gonna cook up.
I'm sure he's right now. Come on, Gator. Get us.
And we're all gonna be cheesing, motherfucker.
It don't matter what Gator does. He could put a blank screen up there and you guys are gonna be like, oh my God, Gator, this is amazing. Oh my God, the new intro for JJ is so good. Oh my God, Gator, you're the greatest. He's a cry.
He's home, his belly is on the bed. That's what feels good. On the road, his belly's on the bed. In a dirty hotel room. He calls the show, his belly's on the bed. He's just more comfortable. He got a beard, loves the jets, super jets. He's a big fella, sleeps alone. There's no room on his bed. That's a big fella.
Hello, gentlemen.
Hey, big fella.
Look at that guy.
How are you? Gary, why do you continue to talk about me?
Because your name came up because you beat JJ, and JJ's clearly a better call than you.
JJ,
No,
Gary,
no disrespect.
Gary, I'm
Let
not
me ask
going to
you,
be
big
talking.
fella.
I'm not going to be
Who's got
talking about
more-
you.
Who's got?
I don't talk about you. You don't talk about me. That's how we're gonna. That's how we're gonna
I'm a
exist in this
41-year-old man. I'm
relationship.
gonna talk about whatever I want to talk about. Okay. That's
Okay.
Too bad.
Yeah, that's fine.
You don't know how hot it is. That's
It is what it is. Who's
It
got
is
more
what it is.
memorable calls? Who's got more memorable calls?
But I lost to him though. I can't say anything. He beat
No,
me fair and
I
square.
will fight this fight. All right. I'll be the promoter here. Who's got more memorable calls? You or JJ?
Big fella.
Thanks.
Big fella. If it means anything to you, in my bracket, I picked you to beat me. So
I appreciate that, and I look forward to meeting you at the meetup. I wanted to talk to you about Indy Jets because he didn't know if you were coming.
Oh no, I'm gonna come. I'm gonna be there because I have to go. I really want to know, Bonesy. I'm serious. What do you want to eat today? I'm gonna personally handle.
I don't need nothing to eat, bro. I'm very friendly with everyone in my neighborhood. My UPS, look at this. Look at this. My UPS guy, he's a professional cook, and he made me on the side because he also does UPS, and he dropped me off some oxtails to try.
Oh, okay,
so that's what I'm eating for lunch.
Because I want to
got
come
some
and give
nice
you a hug. Because you
shout out Edison.
You going through it, and your brother is a good guy. I liked his video. It was just kind of boring, but I still liked it. And I'm sorry for shitting on
JJ,
it.
I am not an editor. That was the first video
We
I
know.
ever made. Cut me some slack.
No, we could tell.
We could tell about your video too, bro. Listen, I don't know what music you wanted me to play. Like your music sounded like a ballerina dance, and I didn't want to do ballerina shit. So like, I don't know what else I'm supposed to do. If I could hit like some rap and don't have to worry about copyright stuff, I would have had some great music. But where are you getting this killer free music? And also, my first video was supposed to be a little longer than it was, and my freestyle at the beginning was on music. I want to see you spit
Wait,
a little
it was supposed to
freestyle
be
off the top.
longer. It was supposed to be a longer video.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
I had much more. I had much more content in there.
Yes, sir.
Big fella.
Yeah.
How did you feel about his ad yesterday?
I actually I complimented both of them. I thought they were both good. I mean, they tried to do something different. You know, I thought it was good.
JJ, all I was doing was showing that a couple things to be an Asmaniac OG, and that's to hang out with the Asmaniac family, which you do. And that's why you made the cut. That's why Gary made the cut. That's why Big Fella made the cut. All three of you motherfuckers were in that video.
Can I just say something? Gary, I respect your opinion. Rank the videos. Who was better? Who did you prefer?
I sat out yesterday's show. I didn't vote in yesterday's show.
Well, JJ's video or Mr. Bones' video?
I didn't watch Bones' video. I didn't watch any.
You didn't watch my video yet?
Yeah,
you were in, bro.
Don't play it. Please don't play it, Jake.
I wasn't voting in yesterday's show. So
Please don't play it,
sat
Jake.
out. And I was going to the Nets game last night, so I wasn't even home to watch it.
You know what JJ is? He's the homie that like you're out with and you get the hotter girl and then he just keeps dogging you about it. Like he's jealous about it and like he's just upset about it. Like he didn't.
JJ's not like that at all.
That's what he reminds me of.
Wait, why would I be jealous? I literally.
No, not jealous of my video. That's what I'm saying. I'm just saying you remind me.
What would I possibly be jealous of? I come on here and I support all of you guys. I voted for Big Fella. I voted for June the GM to beat me. Both of them. I want Gary to win the whole thing. I'm not jealous of anybody. I love this show. I love what this show has brought to my life. It's like a stress reliever. When I call the show, I get to talk about how much the Jets, annoy me. You guys get to call me an idiot. It's a great dynamic. We've been doing this for a while. I still think Gator is a crybaby, and it is what it is. You guys might disagree with me on that, but he is. He's a
I gotta jump off. I gotta go. Y'all be
That's
good.
the best news all day.
You got it, because just for you.
Well,
I'm dropping off just for you to make your day a little
Good.
brighter. Be good,
Good.
JJ. Bonesy.
Guys, it's been great. I'm gonna see all you guys at the Asmaniac meetup. So JJ attacking people is still too much for me, but you know what? I guess it gives us content. It got my blood boiling when you're talking about my peoples. So sorry for getting a little mad, everybody, but when JJ talks about my homies, my
Bones, you don't got to apologize to anybody. You don't got to apologize to anybody, brother.
Well, Jake, thanks for letting us go this long. I had to get a lot off my chest, but JJ's too much for me, man. He's so cool in person, then he comes on here and starts hating on people. I guess it works, though. It gives us content. It gets us going. And then he apologizes because he knows he don't mean half the stuff he probably says. So, but we know something's cooking.
Something's cooking, bro.
Something's cooking. Gator's coming for you, baby. So I can't wait. Talk about Gator. You crazy.
Now Gator's a genius. Gator's a genius, and the stuff he comes up with is amazing, man. He really is. So props.
He's my favorite. Well, you know what? Let me Big Fella, good luck today, man.
Thanks, man.
You put a lot of effort in. You can see it. We all appreciate it. We love it. And I'm gonna do some work because my brother's been giving me dirty looks like, yo, how long are you gonna do this, bro?
Yo,
Who's gonna be the best of the bunch? You get to pick the ones that make the show rock.
What a show. What a show. That Boomtown could probably look it up. That has to be the most uninterrupted series of Rumbles we've ever had. And that many people. That was unbelievable. Love or hate JJ, his calls sparked all that. He went up and in on like 4 people, and they all called in. Amazing. And the best was Bobby. Probably a lot of people thinking, oh, he's going to go at JJ. No, he went at June. Unreal. That took up a lot of time here. I do want to shout out Jets Johnny. Part of the reason why I let it go so long is he sent in a $20 membership drop. Spent $100 to keep that thing going, baby. So he is in the raffle for 20 more entries. Shout out to you, Jets Johnny.
We're the freaking New York Jets, so we're built for this shit.
I'm just going to rapid fire through the names. I'll squeeze in a few more calls, and then we got to go because we're way over the time. Raymond Coletta, BB, Nick Tomaszewski, Mikey B, Robert Sanchez, Jiggy J, Krypton Rogers, Max Greenspan, Frank Sama, Gary Klessler, Bronx Shenanigans, Rich Diaz, Charles Lisa, Isaac Goldstein, Wayne, Steve, Mark Steven, Keith Jackson, Michael Walsh, C. Gamera, all receiving their memberships there from Jets Johnny. Okay, let's try and make these as quick as we can. Quick takes here. Australian Jet fan, you're next. Go ahead. Unmute your mic.
I swear JJ has to be like rage bait. Like surely, like in Australia, like we call people like that FOS. FOS stands for full of shit. Like I was sitting there the whole time, like thinking, like he said he wasn't negative, then he came out and just pretty much everyone, like that whole. I don't know how long that went through. I sat here, I watched the whole thing, and like I remember, like I've never even spoken to this guy. And it was a busy show. I was on hold for like an hour. I finally got in. And of course, you know, I'm going to talk for a while because I've had all this stuff that I've processed, right? This guy's telling you to kick me off the show for yapping. This guy is the king of yapping. That's his specialty. I don't think I've ever seen a JJ call where he's called in and hasn't started yapping. And then also like talking shit about the whole bracket and stuff. Like, what does he think the point of this is? Like you're saying whoever has the hot hand wins. Like you look at sports, that tends to happen. Whichever team is in better form, playing better tends to win. Like that's the point. Does he just want the person who's the highest seed to win by default? Like, what is you doing?
Some salient points there. I mean, look, and also this is not sports where there's a scoreboard. It's based like when you go and vote for someone, you might have multiple reasons why someone would vote for one candidate, someone might vote for the other. Like it's up to you to decide how you determine who you want to advance in Asmaniac Madness.
Like JJ was talking about Bones, he's that or whatever, and you know, taking shots at everyone. I'm like, you're complaining about their ads, but who's still in and who's not? Like, like you can complain all you want, but I don't understand it because, like I said, you know, the sports and stuff, it's about momentum and whoever's winning. Like I voted for the big fella against JJ because JJ took a shot at me for no reason. Like if you want to get through, you can't burn bridges with people you've never even spoken to. Like, that's my rant. And I'll probably be back tonight. So peace out. Have a good one.
Australian Jet fan becoming a regular. Adam is up next. What's up, Adam?
Oh my God. Well, I gotta tell you, the best part about the show is you got new faces coming on all the time. They become a trend, and it's great. So I just say, call in. Jake is not scary, and neither are the Asmaniacs. They're a lot of fun. I love this. Anyway, so I was thinking about that cornerback Stevens that we got from Baltimore, and I think the big complaint about him was that he wasn't able to like get the turnovers. Like he was in the right place at the right time, but he couldn't get the turnovers. And I was like, isn't that the complaint about Sauce? Because Sauce doesn't get the turnovers, but he's always right there, just causing penalties last year, which was an anomaly. So I'm hoping that maybe they solve two birds with one stone. Maybe Glenn can kind of show them how to do the takeover game, or can they be taught to do like the Revis bumping people off the routes? Because I don't know if Sauce really does that. And that's what made Revis a legend, is that wide receivers would never run the routes.
Yeah, well, I did hear Glenn talk about how he thinks Sauce could be the best in the league, and they're going to play a lot of press coverage. I heard Muji make a comment to Eric Allen about that. They think he can. I mean, Sauce has got the prototype. He's got the best size and length that you want for a corner. Like, there's no reason why Style would do. Style wouldn't play as much man. They were in zone a lot. They're going to be in man way more now. So you're going to see that for sure. They like Stevens. If they could coach him up and maximize his talent, great. That will tell me a lot. But I have some questions about that deal.
Yeah, we'll have to see. I think there'll be more turnovers next year. I think we're going to get more interceptions. I'm looking forward to it.
Adam, great call. All right. By the way, Curly, we put your super chat up on the screen during all that. So it was acknowledged. I saw you make a comment. We did get it. Brad Diddy's comment about Bones being pissed. Luis's super chat. When we had the rumbles, I put them up in progress if it fits what's going on, for those of you who are trying to understand. Nate on the bike, going by sore loser JJ today. Go ahead, Nate. Let it rip.
What a wild show. Well, the sore loser JJ was from like 4 neighborhoods ago. JJ is the biggest sore loser in the tournament. He's bringing up everyone who's still in the tournament. And he, like, to bring up the fact, like, I know Australian Jets fan was head on. He's trolling. He's like, he wants a reaction. He wants everyone to say the name JJ over and over today. But to bring up videos when he's one of the 4 or 5 people who made an embarrassing video. Like, you're part of the group that wants it really bad that you made a video, and it's an Asmaniac tournament, and you had no Asmaniacs, and you think it's cool that you took a picture with DJ Reed. He was forced to take a picture with you, and then he mocked you to his wife and all the other adults with beards he had to sign autographs from. Like, that doesn't make you cool because someone was forced to take a video with you. Anyway, he's pushing for next year, which I get it. I know what he's doing. Like I said, everyone's saying the name JJ today, so it's great for his 2026 campaign. But yeah, really just sore loser energy in general from JJ, and then just like retreating it all back. It's like, I can't even shit on him now because he apologized to everyone before he left. Yeah,
he did right, Nate. I love you, brother.
Yeah, I know. I'm trolling him back. He knows it. June, June and Bobby, this is how you know they're both definitely from the Bronx. You don't need to see what hospital or anything, because my mom's also from the Bronx. They're either really fucking tough, right? Or they have to act like they're tough. And with these three things, they have to tell everyone within one of the first three things, they have to mention they're from the Bronx. Like, oh, my name's June. Oh, my name's Bobby. I'm from the Bronx. It's one of the first three things they say to anyone. Like their job, they say they're from the Bronx. Two, they have to be really fucking loud. If you're not going to be tough, at least act tough and try to scare the people with just loudness. Like it happens all the time in Manhattan. You'll see someone and they just yell at someone and then they like scare a tourist and like, hey, I'm from the Bronx. So I can confirm that Bobby, I don't know how long Bobby lived there or how June lived there, but they lived long enough to have those two traits. My mom did the same thing. It's like not super tough, but just really fucking loud. And it's the first thing she tells everyone. It's like, I'm from the Bronx. Like, watch out, I'm from the Bronx. I'm like, but she's just as soft as everyone else. So yeah, I can confirm both of them are New York City residents or Bronx residents for a certain amount of years. And oh, buddy. And JJ is a sore loser. And his video sucked. And also Bonesy, if you're still there, Bonesy, I'm coming through. Yo, JJ's video looked like a 2008 like Sweet 16 slideshow, or like a 2008 like bar mitzvah for if you can relate to that better. You know where they do those slideshows with like the little girls from summer camp take a picture and be like, oh my god, there's Emily. Like that was a shitty video. And then to bring up Gators videos, like you made videos. Like that doesn't make you good. Like I played two-hand touch. That doesn't mean I can play football. But that was essentially that's everything. JJ's sore loser. They're both from the Bronx. And Bonesy, I'm coming to you. I'm on 17th and Madison Park. 17th and Park, Bonesy. I'll be there in 8 minutes. We selling shoes, baby.
Ladies and gentlemen, Nate, parentheses Nate. What a call. All right, we got to end this pretty soon here. So I got Papa Jet and Philly Noodles are next two. What's up, Papa Jet?
Hey, Jake, how you doing?
What's up, man?
I wasn't even involved, and I think my blood pressure went up 10 points on that one. It's going to be a full moon tonight, guarantee it. Wow.
Highly entertaining.
Yeah, I was gonna ping you and bring me in. I think they needed a little bit of this land is your land, this land is my land to mellow them out. But anyways, as far as the tournament, it's just a gut feeling. But I think the ones are going down. And VMAN. Just a gut feeling. I think the guys these last few days, there's some people picking up a lot of steam. You know, I don't want to make. I mean, you could probably make a case for all of them behind the number one seeds. They're all doing well. So it's just a gut feeling. I think, you know, and I like the kids, Charles, Wayne, you know, but V-Man, I think you got to bring more than farting and phantom football players and sleeping. It's going to take more, Jake. You know what I'm saying?
I love the analysis, Papa Jet. Great call.
Real quick, and I apologize if this is too early to ask, but when do you usually announce your Jet meetup for a game?
We need the schedule to come out first, and then I gotta start getting an idea on what would make sense from there.
Okay, because I got some stuff this year, but I would love to try to make it. You know, shake some hands and hug some 5%ers if Mikey lets me. But
well, I'll tell you what, Papa Jet, there's always a bunch of listeners who are at every home game, right? So, and I try to go to a bunch of games there. So, worst case, if you can't make the road event we do, just come to MetLife for a game, and I'm sure I'll get a chance to meet you there.
Oh, okay. So
or come to the draft party. That's what I'll be saying. Yeah, you want to meet people, come to the draft party. You'll get probably the most amount of people in one place that night.
I think I'd rather come to a game. I mean, because I'll have to drive 7 hours or fly in, you know. So
yeah, that makes sense.
I'd rather see a game, but eventually we'll get there. Hopefully this year. But thanks.
You got a Papa Jet good call. I love his breakdown of why he thinks the one seed's going to go down. And V-Man, you can't just sleep. That's what he does V-Man for. I love that. Philly Noodles up next. What's up, Philly?
Yo, what do you say? Phantom farts?
Phantom farts, sleep. I don't know. That was tremendous from Papa.
Yeah, what a breakdown, bro. JJ is the colossus of clout. That dude, he can make the devil jealous, bro. He is on another tear. That kid, I don't, man. That's a good issue to have, I guess, if you're him. But I just want to quickly say, I know I was knocked out, but Doug on the couch didn't even stand a breathing chance today. What happened, bro? Like, just felt I would have took up a few more points than that on today's percentage.
Look,
Oh,
V-Man is. Yeah,
he's a juggernaut.
Look, Chef Kevin's an amazing caller. Bonesy destroyed him yesterday. Like,
Yeah.
there are certain callers in this tournament that have the backing of the listeners.
I think Chef Kev, because he wanted Daniel Jones so bad, as a backup quarterback. He hates me. And I know, listen, I know Gators out there. Obviously, I know he hates me for my Aaron Rodgers takes. I just had to say his name today because JJ was talking shit. I just had to do it just now. I'm gonna help.
I'm excited
Yeah.
for the response from
Yeah.
Gator
Oof.
to JJ. That will be interesting.
What kind of? Yeah, I mean, he's gonna dig up. I mean, he's got what, 3 years of content? Oof, dude, he can go back. That's you don't mess with somebody who can pull up the files from the cabinets. You don't do that shit. Yeah, but my thing is, it would be a travesty if we don't get Lowski versus Gorman. Everybody, I don't care who's got to go out of the way for that. Loki versus Gorman, the noodle soup moment has to happen.
Look, the committee
It
had
must
that in mind
happen.
when the brackets were coming out, looking at potential matchups. And if we get Gorman Lowski, that's a great battle. But I think Big Fella's going to give Gorman a run for his money this afternoon. And I think One Punch Bringer cannot be counted out against anyone right now.
I understand that, but it's boycott season if we don't get the soup off. We need the soup off. People, it's the soup off. Who does not want the soup off? I'm a noodles guy. Of course I want the soup off. Put the noodles in the soup.
I
The
get it.
soup off.
Like, Philly, excellent call, man. You're not wrong. It's going to be a battle. I think Big Fella's got a chance. Big Fella, how are you feeling, baby? You laying on that bed? You feeling good about the matchup this
Yeah,
afternoon?
man, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. I got stuff planned. I got a setup and everything. But yeah, things are going to be good, man. That Rumble was kind of interesting, though.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Probably closer to 4:30, I would say, is when we'll get that second show going to give you a heads
All
up.
right, cool, man. That sounds good. Yeah. I mean, I didn't feel like yelling today. I'm trying to stay calm.
Save the energy. Save the energy.
I'm trying to be a happy fella today. And my calls may not be so memorable or whatever, but I don't do it for that. I do it because I want to talk to you.
And you're a part of the show. You're a part of the community. You come to events. You're engaged in the chat. You pay it forward with memberships.
Yeah.
JJ's just being JJ.
No, it wasn't JJ. It was the other guy.
Oh, Gary. That's right, Gary. Yeah.
So, but whatever. It's nice to live rent free somewhere, But anyway, I'll see you at 4:30, my man.
JJ. All right, Jack, go to JJ. Big Fella, good luck against the Charles Gorman.
All right.
It's going to be a battle, folks. All right, let's end this show because I got a bunch of things to do before the next show. We went long today. Ladies and gentlemen, officially, let's congratulate V-Man on advancing in his matchup against Doug on the couch. 78-21, the official score. 623 votes were cast. The Sweet 16 is now officially set, and it starts this afternoon with the Big Fella taking on the number 1 overall seed in the tournament, Charles Eugene M. Gorman. Let's go through the matchups, and then we'll end the show. Gorman versus Big Fella. Lowski versus Briga. Weed versus Castro. Neil versus David T. Craig from Australia versus Gary. J-Quest versus Ricky NY. Lane Train versus Kyle Clifton. And V-Man versus Mr. Bonesy. Those are the matchups. Congrats to the 16 Asmaniacs who are alive and have made it this far. What a show. What a time. As Bart Scott once said, can't wait for the Sweet 16. And that starts this afternoon. Again, thank you all. Please subscribe to the channel. Reminder, get your draft ticket if you haven't. A lot of the people we just mentioned, they're going to be there, which is awesome. Matthew Smith, I see you just bought a draft ticket, so maybe you could try and troll me in person that night. Looking forward to it. Anyway, thank you for that, Matthew, and looking forward to hanging out with you and everyone else who's bought a ticket. It's easy. Click the link in the description. You put your name, your email, hit the RSVP button, and then it gives you an option to pick which ticket you want to select. Again, love all of you. Congrats to VMAN. Didn't even need to call in anyone. And I messaged him. I wrote to him on Twitter and Discord. So VMAN's probably just sleeping. Sleeping his way to the next round. Nothing like it. On that note, that ends the show. Again, thank you all. My name is Jake Asman. This has been another Jake Asman show. We will talk to you soon. In honor of VMAN winning, hey, VMAN, this is for you. Fly around, baby.
I am not doing that. I don't have the space.
Start from where your chair is and then run and then jump onto the bed so we see the Puerto Rican flag. Captain Puerto Rico.